Yeah. I told y'all just like that. We back with another one. It's your man Martin Nash breaking beats. All right, we're gonna chop it up. We're gonna have a immediate reaction show, and we're gonna talk about the explosive interview that Hank Lundy just delivered on Breaking Beats. Wow. I'm gonna drop the link. This is gonna be an open panel show. And this should be a good one. All right, so let's run the intro, get a room time to populate. I'm gonna drop the link, and yeah, let's do a quick hour. We'll do a quick hour real quick, and I'll chop it up about this interview. It's your man Nash breaking beats. Let's get it.
This is my passion. This is what I love to do. But some days, sometimes, I'm just like you, man. I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. I'm just like you. Damn, I hate this job. Man, I hate this job. Man, I hate my job. From a good dream I wake, sun rays on my face, planning out my day, hoping this ain't the one that I catch a case. I feel so good, I feel so straight. My manager keep calling me saying, hurry up, you late. Hurry up, you lay off. Y'all, man, I hate this job. Man, I hate this job. Been trying to play it cool, but it's hard to play it off. I've been hanging on to this bullshit, cause my car still ain't paid off. I know I'm on my way up. My boy just got laid off, so y'all, man, I hate this job. Man, I hate this job. These hoes here so ratchet. These niggas here so sneaky. Y'all don't even really pay enough for y'all to only pay bi-weekly. I'm trying to double up my cash. Take this job, shove it up your area. Yo, man, I hate this job. Sometimes I wanna say, walk in and slap my boss. This shit is getting hard. Damn, I hate this job. Gotta make it out of this struggle, bruh. And I don't really mean to take it out on you. You just a customer, but damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. We're the reason why your stockholders always stay afloat. Yet I'm asking, are they hiring? Like everywhere I go, schedule will say 9, but I think it's fine if I clock in at 9:04. I work 40 hours a week plus overtime just to be bro. So y'all, man, I hate this job. Hate that I applied. So much has transpired since the day that I was high. Told me I could advance, but you were telling me lies. Gotta give your notice before I quit, but you don't say shit right before I'm fired. Damn, man, I hate this job. Sometimes I wanna say, walk in and slap my boss. This shit is getting hard. Damn, I hate this job. Gotta make it out of this struggle, bruh. And I don't really mean to take it out on you. You just a customer, but damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. You and your procedures, you and your protocol, you and your policies, none of that shit don't apply to me. You and your quotas, you and your standards, you and your 2 sick days a year. Y'all niggas bananas. Wonder why the postman's posted with hammers, going postal with Popo on camera. His wage got him enraged, stressed out, it's hard to maintain. He flips the middle, grabs his. He said, if you don't get the picture, I quit. You ain't shit, mother. Man, I hate this job. Sometimes I wanna say, walk in and slap my boss. This shit is getting hard. Damn, I hate this job. Gotta make it out of this struggle, bruh. And I don't really mean to take it out on you. You just a customer, but damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Look, man, I hate this job. I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like you. I'm out here trying to take care of my family. Damn, I hate this job. It's not always glamorous, for real, but I do what I gotta do for for me and mine, you know? Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. I'm just like you, nigga. Damn, I hate this job. Man, I hate this job. Man, I hate my job.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers, commentators, experts, and or the host. They do not explicitly nor necessarily reflect nor represent the channel's policy or the views held by the channel or broadcaster. The broadcaster or its channel cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during the program. Basically, if I didn't say it, don't come for me. You come for the person who said it. And please don't sue me for somebody else's words. With that said, let's start the show, motherfucker.
This that squad sound.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What up, though? What's popping? What's happening? What's going on? You back in the lab with your favorite neighbor, your man, Mark Nash. He is I am he. Another great episode of Breaking Beats. How y'all feel? What's the deal? I'm going to drop the link out there early, open the phone lines up. I ain't going to be here real long on this one because it is a Sunday. My wife is in there cooking Sunday dinner, and it's going to be amazing. Excuse me. It's going to be amazing. I could smell it coming through the walls of the studio. Oh, Mrs. Nash is in there cooking it up. She got the collard greens, mac and cheese. I smell the collard greens cooking. You know what I'm saying? She put those smoked turkey necks in those collard greens, man. I ain't gonna lie. Oh my God. She cooked them damn collard greens with that damn chicken, bro. Fistiana, you know I love me some Fistiana fights, man. She's so dope. She always support stuff that I do on IG, Twitter, always commenting and stuff like that. So I rock with Fistiana. I'm trying, Fistiana. I'm trying, yo. I'm trying to ask tough questions, but I want to be respectful to the fighters. I want to be respectful to their fans. Because, like I said, man, no matter what you think of Ivan Redcatch or Hank Lundy, if what they are saying is true, we got to put a case on some of these promoters. Oh, yeah, we got to put a case on it, baby. Yo, Hank Lundy, though, man, this guy is a firecracker in the interview. Hilarious. Had me rolling, bro. Once he got loose, once he settled in, it was over. I was like, yo, let me end this interview. It was a couple times I was like, I should end this a little bit early. Like, my boy Hank Lundy going in. You know what I'm saying? But, man, salute to Hank Lundy, man. And sharing the story. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to say any names, but Tay Jones know. Ivan knows. I'm sure Hank knows. BLK Prime probably knows. It's other fighters that things are going on with. And I've reached out to them. And we spoke. And they said, yeah, but this is just off the record. You know what I'm saying? But people are talking about things that are going on with these promoters now that we've been doing these interviews, chopping it up. So, yo, crazy things that are happening in this business, you know? But the other fighter that I reached out to, because something similar just happened to him with a promoter, trying to do same thing Ivan was talking about. The promoter was doing things that was not favorable for the fighter. It was more for the promoter who is not even in the promotion. It's just you're not getting the guys to fight. You just got guys signed. That's what's happening. Some of these promoters are just signing guys and just to have them under contract. So if something else happens, okay, I just need to get a release from you so I still get paid. I'm your representative. I didn't get you no fight, but you signed to me. Or when you were a free agent, stuff like this is happening. So that shit is crazy. It's crazy. Whereas like they just getting paid off. They trying to get paid off a bout agreement. Truly disappointing, man. Like I say, if what we are hearing is true, I like to preface it with that. Like, I'm gonna reach out to the promoter that was mentioned in this interview, and trust me, I'm gonna give them a chance to speak their piece. Got to give them a chance to speak their piece, you know. If they don't, that would be telling, but nobody's required. Somebody said, "Are you on your regular channel right now?" I'm not showing up on the regular channel. Let me see. Let me look on my phone. Yeah, I'm on the regular channel right now. Yeah, I'm on the regular channel and I'm on the backup channel. Let me see. Yeah, I'm on the regular channel and the backup channel. What's popping? Yeah. I'm on the regular and the backup right now. I just started. I usually do a longer setup. Sometimes it take a minute for them to send out the notifications when you set the live up for 7 o'clock and you start. I set the live up at like 6:30. I started the live like immediately. OTB Boxing. What's up, my brother? Oh man, we got to talk about it. He said the promoters out here doing some foolery with the jewelry. Got to put a case on him, he said. And he said, I'm gonna put a real case on him. he said if this shit ain't fixed by this week, well, he said Monday. He said, I'm sending in the paperwork on Monday. We're gonna get this stuff figured out. Or we're gonna it's time to go to trial. It's time to go to trial. Wow. The promoter is Red Boxing International right here. As you can see on the screen, this is them. Red RED Promotions. Okay, he said it wasn't showing up. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Shout out to Reg, Fistiana Fights, OTB Boxing School. Let me do this members only roll call real quick. Let's do the members only roll call. I'm gonna pin the phone line up the top. Let me put the phone line on the screen and give you guys a chance to call in and voice your opinion as well. Tell me what y'all thought of the interview. So let me pin that on the screen right about there. But yeah, he said the promoter was doing some foolery with the jewelry. He said it was trying to extort him. Wow. Yeah. Shout out to Beyond the Rain with Nonito and Rachel. Yeah, definitely a good interview. Yeah, I wanted to do a separate video for the reaction and just do some boxing talk and chop it up. You know what I'm saying? We can just chop it up, do some boxing talk, and give a reaction to the interview. I just didn't want that to be on the same video because I don't feel like doing no editing. I just want to leave the video alone. And I don't know what's going to happen with this panel, with this immediate reactions. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how y'all do. Y'all ain't got no table manners. You ain't got no table manners. I was like, I don't want that on my same video. So let's just, I already got to do enough editing, chopping up those clips. So this should be interesting, should be fun. Let me see what they're saying in the Chizat, and I'll be right back. Let me go to my neighbors only roll call.
What up?
Let's shout them out, because without them, the show wouldn't be the show at this level.
What up, gangsta?
All right, so let's do a members only roll call. Shout out to my guy Porto.
What up?
Stephen Bateman in Australia.
What up?
Food Revolution.
What up?
C Jones 0224.
What up?
Sweaty Teddy.
What up?
That guy Eclipse 330.
What up?
KP from KC5.
What up?
Adam Kelly in Australia.
What up, gangsta?
KP.
What up?
T.
What up?
Matt Wade.
What up?
DJ.
What up?
Karma Serene.
What up?
Kansas City Matt.
What up?
Ill Status Boxing.
What up?
Ace Retro.
What up?
Tank the Sweet Science Examiner.
What up?
Beyond and Above Media.
What up?
Pittsburgh T.
What up?
SF City Slicker.
What up?
Pardon me. I Know Boxing.
What up?
Boxing Lounge.
What up?
It's Mex.
What up?
Mike from Boston.
What up?
Ride of the Storm.
What up?
Here to There.
What up?
Miss Queen Sunkiss.
What up?
Taylor Bell.
What up?
Maddie Yoel.
What up?
Cliff Bailey.
What up?
Conshonery.
What up?
Lisa Bells. I hope you get well.
What up, gangsta?
Cooking with the Champ.
What up?
On the mic with Terrence Bailey Sr.
What up?
True Media Today USA
What
Boxing.
up, gangsta?
That's my guy, Coach Malachi Williams. HLD.
What up?
Cooking with Sir Senior.
What up?
Brandon Washington.
What up?
Born Supreme.
What up?
Lady Shan Dundem Season.
What up?
Dub Right Side.
What up?
D Bevel the Champ.
What up?
And of course, the big fish himself, my good brother, Derek Lincoln.
What up, gangsta?
All right. Look at me. I'm in here pop locking. Did you see me? Did you hear me? Did you see the shoulders? See me hit him with the shoulders? Hit him with the shoulders. Hit him with the shoulders. Yeah, this was fun. This was fun. Let me see what they said in the chat. Said Reggie was coming for the smoke. Yeah, sunlight. I think Reggie handled himself pretty well. All things considered. Yeah, I don't think he did nothing wrong. Asking some questions, but he definitely is not a fan of BLK Prime, and I don't think he left anything to secret about that. I just think he seemed like he had a preconceived notion, like no matter what they whatever he said, Reggie already had something. You know, his opinion is already made, and that's fair enough. He's a grown man; he's entitled to that. I know Boxing said Mark Nash. You had 2 known fighters on your live chat at the same time. You big time now, Slim. Next, put my boys Spence and Haney up here. All right. Man, some of these guys are really, really cool and down to earth, especially like Nonito Donaire. If you ever seen his show, like he doesn't of course he takes himself seriously in the ring and his training, but far as being Nonito Donaire, he seems like pretty relaxed. He's like, man, I'm a regular guy, man. I'm a regular person. I'm just like you. I like to have fun. I love my wife, love my children, and yeah, he's a regular guy, man. Hank Lundy's the same way. They're really down to earth guy. Ivan Redcatch loves his wife, loves his family. He's just some of these guys are just regular down to earth people. They're just not big headed. Some guys are though. Some guys, they too cool for school. They like, how many views you got? How many viewers you got? How many subscribers? Can you send me a director's reel of some of your interviews before I agree? Some people are like that. And that's fine too. That's fine too. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own style. And I can understand it. Some people invite you on their show just to do a hit piece, just to insult you, disrespect you, try to belittle you, play clips of all your knockouts. You know what I'm saying? So how was it getting knocked out by this guy? How was it getting knocked out? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm not on it like that, my G. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we believe in fighters first over here. Boxing is my favorite sport. I watch other sports, but I love this boxing, man. And just, I respect these fighters. That's why I be like, yo, don't be calling nobody no bum. A bum will beat your ass. You sit around calling these fighters bums. You can't do 3 rounds with a bum. I better check on it, homie. And you probably wouldn't call them that to their face anyway. And if you do, you damn sure wouldn't call them that and then say, let's spar. Headgear, big gloves and all. None of that. You ain't going to do that. So, yeah, we got to respect these fighters. And, man, we got to talk about what's going on in the business sometimes. Like, I know some people don't want to talk about it. Like I said before, I had another fighter who turned down the interview. He was like, I need to talk to my lawyer before I come over there. Like, you know what I'm saying? But some people will do that. Shout out to Nonito and Rachel. And like I said, it's an open panel on this episode. You can pull up, click the link. Open panel, open channel, open dialogue. As long as we keep it respectful, we can come back and do this again. But yeah, man, that was epic to have Hank Lundy talking to Nonito, because he was like, man, I'm a fan, yo. And you can see it in his eyes, hear it in his voice. He was serious. He was like, man, let me get an autograph or something. Yeah, man. Fighters are fans of fighters as well. So that shit is super dope when you can connect them. Hopefully they can chop it up, and I'll be watching Beyond the Ring with Rachel and Nonito. I always say it first because I always talk to Rachel. She's so vocal and she's so dope too. Shout out to Rachel Donaire, dropping the business too, giving some jewels on that episode. So I'd be remiss if I didn't say salute to her.
What up?
Yeah, but talking about financial literacy, I'm so glad I got to get them on air speaking about that, because it doesn't happen. It's that one thing that's not. It's like the thing that people don't talk about the most in boxing, but it's the most important thing. Fighters are always fighting in and out the ring. Bars. You heard it. You heard it. Don't ask me how. Don't ask me how. Triple entendre. Don't ask me how. Make sure I got this phone line open too. Where the phone line at? Put that on the screen. And I'll take some calls. I'll drop the link. Talk some boxing. Chop it up with the family out here. Man, like I said, if you missed it, man, you missed a damn good one. Look for those clips. That shit gonna be fire. Hammer and Hank Lundy pulled up. And as the kids would say, spilt the tea. Let me put the voice on.
He spilled the tea.
Yeah. Was dropping all the gems and jewels. And like I said, and everybody's situation is gonna be different. He spoke on his situation and his dealings and how it worked for him. It doesn't work that way with everybody. Shout out to I Know Boxing. That guy Clips, he said, out of control with the air horn. Oh yeah, I was pop locking Clips. I was pop locking on that joint. You know how I do. Hit him with the shoulders. Hit him with the shoulders. Reggie said, salute to Beyond the Ring with Nonito and Rachel. It was all love, even though I say Hank messed it up for himself with getting the AB fight. I disagree with you though, Reggie. I disagree with you on that. That promoter didn't have that in the one-page bout agreement. You sent a one-page bout agreement for the fight. He doesn't have to pay the promoter step aside money for him getting out of the fight, whether you think it's about hook or crook. He's out the fight. It's an injury. Got the paperwork. Got the picture. They saw the picture. They agreed. But I agree with you with should have recorded the call, like these YouTube niggas be out here recording calls. And make sure this red. Hold on. Okay, cool. I've been seeing people getting caught slipping out here lately. What up, my G? What's popping, bro?
What's up, man?
What's popping with you, homie? What you think, man? Did you
it was a great interview, bro.
You know what I should have asked him that I didn't want to ask him, but he spoke about it enough. I was like, I should have said, what do you say about the people who blame Al Heyman because your fight happened? They say Al Heyman did it. I should have asked him that.
Damn, that would have been good. Because he did bring up something about Al Heyman too.
Yeah, but he spoke well about him. He didn't say nothing bad. He just said these two fighters didn't trust the two promotions. But I should have asked him, like, do you blame Al Heyman? Like, you know, I should have asked him, bro. Because some people are running with that. They try to say, you know, Al Heyman working behind the scenes to stop anything good from happening, you know, for Adrien Broner. I'm like, bro.
Right. And he don't dance around shit. That's the thing I like about it. He don't dance around comments.
Who, Hank?
Yeah, no, he don't dance around shit. He goes straight for what he believes. You know, I think that he messed up. Because if I'm a promoter, if I'm that other dude, ain't no way you about to duck out of my fight. And then all of a sudden I look up and you fight this other dude, a more noted individual. And I'm looking like, oh, you going for a money opportunity. I'm going to take a piece of that shit.
180,000 though, Reggie.
I wouldn't be that damn extreme though. But that's almost saying, unless I'm like, you ain't fighting that dude, then that's when I'll do that kind of shit.
Or maybe that whole promotion cost him 180. Like, yeah, his purse was 10,000. Hank Lundy's purse might have been 5,000. I'm gonna just throw a number out there. You giving him 10, giving Hank Lundy 5, or maybe they splitting it. I'm giving Hank 10 and I'm giving you 10. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say that.
Right.
Let's say they was, so that's 20,000. It's like he's trying to get the money back from the venue, from this, that, and the third. Like he trying to
like, yeah, I missed out on these sales and blah blah blah. Because Hank name would have brought in probably more than what the fighter they trying to build up over there would have.
So they might have been paying Hank more than that guy. Is that possible?
Yeah,
like,
it's possible.
Hank 20. Hank fight him, you're gonna build his name up if he beats you, right?
Yeah, right. Because he only had 8 fight. What he got? 8 fights in, and then he'll get a Hank Lundy on his record. An experienced dude.
Mm. Yeah, man. I'm glad he did the interview that long, bro. That shit was an hour and 47 minutes. He was like, yeah, he only agreed to 20 minutes because we thought he was still gonna be training, prepping for the fight. And now this happens right when we secured the interview. But he could have pulled out the interview. He could have said, hey, I don't want to talk about it. It took him 20, 30 minutes just to figure out what was going on with StreamYard, because StreamYard kept bringing him to the creator side, like he's trying to set up his own stream. I was like, what the hell is going on with StreamYard? But he was like, man, I already did one of these interviews like this before. I know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, but I was like, man, well, let's just do it on IG. So he stuck with it for like 20, 30 minutes. And we figured it out, man. And did he deliver what? I got a meme. I got the Hank Lundy meme and everything was created tonight. What's up, Q? Shout out my boy Q, the guy, the lost art of boxing. Lab is in the building. What's up, my G?
Man, what's good with it? What's popping with you? What's good with it, Reggie, my brother, man? What's good with you, Mark Nash?
What up?
Today, man?
What's good? What you smoking on, Q? You already sound like you 2-3 blunts in.
Man, nah, I ain't. I'm about to roll up right now. I'm like, what better time? I was chilling back watching the Hank Lundy interview and shit. Just watch with my kids and shit. So, yeah, man, that shit was funny as hell, dog. Hank, you and Hank a fool, man. Yeah, that shit was funny as hell.
I think I do every interview different. I kind of feel off the vibe of the individual. The looser they get, the looser I talk to them, you know? Like Ivan Redcash, that was a more serious interview because I can tell he was not in the mood for no laughing, no jokes. He's hurting, he's in pain. I should have asked Hank Lundy, man, damn, how had you spent a lot of money in training? Like, did you get a fight advance for that fight? He said the guy only spent a plane ticket, but I should have asked him. I might real quick, like ask him, did they give you an advance for your fight that you had, or did BLK Prime give you an advance? Fuck, I should have asked him.
You talking about to the fight that he had with Tito?
Both of them. I should have asked him about, did you get one for Ernesto? Did you get one for Broner? Did you get a fight advance?
I mean, don't they get a little deposit? I mean,
not everybody. Ivan didn't get no fight advance. Like, you know how they'll give you an advance for training camp and shit like that? Ivan got nothing. He was paying out of pocket for the training camp.
Oh, man. Damn.
I'm gonna text him, yo.
I mean, but it was crazy. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I seen, like, I literally seen Hank Lundy fighting Tito. I seen him do an interview with somebody. Well, I seen Tito do an interview with somebody. And the day before, I seen him and Tito on the boxing voice going at it. Man, 24 hours later, I seen Hank Lundy fight AB. I was like, man, what the hell going on? Like, so, I mean, man, it's a crazy series of events. Like, so the promoter of the him and Tito fight pretty much want like 180 bands.
Yeah, he said they were trying to demand BLK Prime give them 180 bands to lift that suspension so Hank Lundy could fight Adrien Broner.
Nah, I wouldn't do that. 180, I'll get you another opponent. Shit, you know what I mean? To be honest, like, shit. But I do think that was going to be a good fight, like, because at the same time, like, I feel like, you know, people want AB to win. I mean, Hank Lundy done lost a lot of fights, but shoot, man, this was damn near like a damn near perfect matchup, damn near like the Mickey Bay and Tevin Farmer. You know, it was getting to seem like one of them. So I don't know, man. It's a lot going on with AB fight, man. All these people not being able to fight, man, with all these different little circumstances, bro. Do anybody got an inkling of who AB gonna have next? Is he still gonna fight or what?
AB versus AB.
Shit, I don't know.
They gonna end up probably pushing that fight back because you got even on that date he was fighting. You got Jake Paul fighting on that date versus Tommy Fury. and then you got Floyd Mayweather supposed to do his exhibition bout. So that's 2 pay-per-view events that fans who gravitate towards that may end up purchasing. So they may lose out on that.
Yeah, it could be, but I don't know. That Mickey Bay, man, I know a lot of people want to see that Mickey Bay and Tevin Farmer too, man.
Man, ain't nobody want to watch that bullshit.
Shit, I want to watch that bullshit.
Yeah, you and 2 other people.
Hey, man, me and the 4 motherfuckers, man, we gonna tune in on that shit, man. I mean, I'd rather watch that than whoever the fuck Floyd fighting. I'd be 100 about that. I'd rather watch that than him and whoever Floyd fight. Floyd ain't doing it.
Man, I ain't even into Floyd exhibitions, but I had an option. I'm watching Floyd shit.
Man,
And then I
stop.
would be more interested in watching Jake Paul to see what he do with Tommy Fury brother. I mean with Tyson Fury brother.
Oh, that's solid. That's really gonna happen.
Yeah, that's what they put down. Been seeing them putting that shit on the shit on Twitter and everything. Seeing the Zone posted.
The Zone? Why would the Zone post it if Jake Paul fight for Showtime?
Yeah, no, I think I saw it on their Twitter.
Oh, okay. Shit, man. Hey, whatever, man. I don't really give a damn about what the hell Jake Paul got going. He ain't really, unless.
I get with Jake. He a bigger attraction in the sport. These other fighters dry up the damn sport. The personality's lacking. I think a lot of fighters can learn from it. Like a personality like how Hank come on here is a personality that'll be good for boxing. But if it's just the bad end with Hank being on the back end of his career, it really does nothing. But a lot of these fighters are just dry as fuck. When you listen to them interview, for casual side of shit, you ain't bringing nothing. Y'all fighters, they should talk shit to want to fight each other. Talk shit to make the fights. You get them on here. Bill Haney's perfect for the fight game. He get on there. Everybody get mad. The fighters who should be like, well, fucking make the fight. They say everything to create a argument to steer away from the shit. And that's the problem in the damn sport. You watch one dude who him and his son are looking to fight everybody, and everybody else make up arguments like they rather pick a gun up to say, nigga, leave us the fuck alone type shit. And that's the problem. Jake Paul is great for boxing. These other people, and to be a promoter dealing with that shit, I couldn't imagine it.
Yeah, I think Jake Paul cool in the sport as far as he did decent in the women's boxing. Even on his cards, you know what I mean, giving fighters some of their payday, by coming out of his check. I think that's cool. All the other antics. I ain't really for it or I ain't mad at it. I just got to see how somebody do it to see if I like it or not. You know what I mean? Like some people don't like how Jermell Charlo act. I really don't mind. Hey, that's the shit I want to see. I done seen this motherfucker go off, and I done seen this nigga in tears. Fuck it, I like that shit. You know what I mean? But he cool personality. I done seen him turn up, but he pretty relaxed. So,
They personalities are dry as fuck. Him, Earl, all of them got dry ass personalities. Thing that stands out for Wilder, great personality. He gonna give you sound bites. He's gonna give you something to want to feed off of when you put him and the other fighter up against each other. They display that they don't like each other. The thing that set Caleb Plano and Canelo over the top was when you put them in front of each other, you discover they didn't like each other and they took swings at each other. Your fighters want to play friends and this and that shit. Fans ain't gonna gravitate towards that. And that shit deads off the sport. And then you get them where they'll talk shit to each other. Then you put them in the ring and they dancing around and shit. Like promotion wise and network wise, don't know network or promoter want to see that shit. And then fighters be wondering why they're on the shelf and shit. You got to think in that mindset. And this even goes back to where culture saying people want to play business and don't know shit about business, and the fighters know more. And that's false as fuck. There's many people who deal in the world of business, understanding of business that fighters don't. A lot of these fighters don't even have high school educational backgrounds. This is why they get screwed over. BLK Prime got people over there who ain't business related people. I mean, boxing related
Hold
people.
on, slow down. How do you know that? How do you know who they got over there?
Man, people have seen the
Hold
people.
on, hold on. Q, hold on. Q banging the damn grinder.
Nigga rolling his weed
My
up.
bad, my nigga. I thought I had it on mute.
One dude comes out the world of real estate. The others with education background, they come into money. They ain't boxing people.
But by that logic, I mean, Al Hinton came from music and came into boxing.
Exactly. That's my whole point. You
Do you
don't
know
have to
who
come from the
everybody
world.
is behind BLK?
Man,
That's my whole point.
I thought he went to Harvard with Bob Arum. I thought they was in the same class.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to be a boxer or in boxing to understand the world of business operations. Yeah, you work in business, you know what you're dealing with. All you do is get a ring, deal with what the cost of shit and how much money you bringing in, and hopefully you can keep costs down. It's simple as that.
So
being a boxer don't make you a better business person. That's why they get fucked over all day.
I think the old school. I'll keep this real short, Q, and I'll pass. I think Andre Ward brought it up in the interview I was covering one time, where he was like, "When you go in there and ask these tough questions, they don't have no answers for you. They just tell you that's the way it's always been. Like, why does the sanctioning body get 3%? Okay, I'm fighting for undisputed. So 12% of my gross is gone. Okay, why does the promoter get this much? Why does the manager get this much? Why does the cut man get this much? Why does the trainer get this much? Why do we pay the sparring partners this much?" When you start asking all those questions, and because we did an episode over here and we explained how a fighter could sign a $1 million purse and end up in debt. That's just because it's a title fight. A $1 million purse for a title fight, you can end up $250,000 in the hole after taxes.
Right. But remember also with what Rachel brought up, that's a lot of things that fighters aren't thinking of, that LLC shit. And that points back to what they were speaking when they were speaking to Hank Lundy. A lot of fighters aren't doing that.
So really it's what people be talking about when they be like, man, the business of boxing. I think, man, business is business. You know, numbers is numbers. It's black and white. I think it's the politics. People don't know the politics of boxing along connected with the business. You know, shit, because if we just talking straight out business, whatever, if everything along with Hank Lundy and BLK was business, if it wasn't no politics involved, then you would figure it kind of would have got resolved. You know, okay, if we ain't playing this politics, you get him 180 and fuck it, the suspension gone. But that's not just business; that's politics connected to that shit. So
that's extortion, though.
Shit, hey,
you're an extortion business, bro. That's why you gotta read this shit before you sign anything. But a lot of people, like even in any business, it's shit that we'll take based on the dollar rather than reading over some shit and get fucked over. And then when shit don't work out is when we start complaining. But when we get allured by that money up front, shit, everything hunky dory to that money blow.
Yeah. You ever seen that? It was like a it was like a meme, but it was like a stand of somebody getting, I think it was like $250,000, and then another sign that said it had fucking $1 million just straight out 1 million, and people was going to the other jump because I guess they was reading it wrong. I really can't remember right now. You know what I mean? I ain't got my mind right yet, but you know, like that shit. I guess people, man, they just ass backwards. You know, these boxers need lawyers or whoever.
They got lawyers. But look, he didn't say he didn't have a lawyer.
They need double checking. Somebody double check that shit.
For sure. Let's go to Rachel Donaire in the building.
Hey, what's up?
Peace to the queen. Doing a thing. How you doing tonight, my sister? Well, it's afternoon.
Oh, good. Oh, you know, Sunday, prepping for Monday with the kids and stuff like that. So switching off. You guys had O'Neal earlier, and now he's helping with the kids, and I'm switching off. But
man, I appreciate supporting the show, man. And
of course.
blessing us with your presence. You could have been doing anything. You could be working on your own content. Could just be somewhere just listening. But you guys are taking the time out your day to be a part of it. And I appreciate you, and I thank God for you for that.
No, of course. And thanks for having, the medium to have these conversations. And like I think like one of the things that we overlook is how boxing is unregulated. And I say this all the time. They're like, "Oh, it's as easy as business." Listen, I do business outside of boxing and it's a lot different. It's literally the wild wild west in boxing because for example, Ivan's situation, I believe you mentioned it on your show, Mark, that he had gotten a contract from BLK, and then allegedly the promoter had presented him a new bout agreement that had his promotion on the top of the bout agreement, and all these other different terms, right? Um, that happens a lot. And it's happened to God, I could say at least more than 10 boxers that has approached me about it. That, for example, they're on, I'm not gonna say which promotion, but promoter A, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm fighting on this card," and I'm like, "Okay," and they're like, "But this guy just inserted himself and gave me a different promotional contract or bout agreement with his promotion on the top." And what happens is on the very, basis of it, when you get a broker or a matchmaker that is playing in the game, right? Or a promotional company that's playing as a broker, what they do is they'll go and say, "Hey, promoter A, how much are you willing to pay for this?" "I'm willing to pay 100,000. Okay, cool. So he goes off and talks to the boxer, and then he's like, "Hey, they're willing to give you 80,000." And he's like, "Cool, I'll take it." So now the promoter's like, "Okay," so he gives this the sub promoter, the 100,000. He goes out and contracts this boxer for 80,000. Then he turns to the boxer and says, "But I still need my 20% cut on that, so 80 minus 20%." But he just dipped on both sides, and you have absolutely no idea that he did. And if you don't sign it, you're not going to the promoter, like directly to the promoter A, to get the fight done. You see what I'm saying? Because they already had a service agreement put together that if they bring them this boxer, this is how much they're going to pay. So it's a lot of smoke and mirrors as far as the game, unless you are in direct contact with a lot of the agencies that are putting the events together. But for a lot of these young and up and coming boxers, like they don't have it. That's why they sign with people, that they're hoping can connect them over to the bigger players because they don't have that direct link. Like, for example, someone coming out of the amateurs, good record, but isn't an Olympian that everyone's looking at, but wants to get into the business. He can email Top Rank, and Top Rank's just going to be like, "Oh, who are you?" Right? He can email Golden Boy, all these people, it doesn't matter. But unless you know either the matchmakers or the people that are looking for the talent and get exposure that way, they're really just going to like leave you on the wayside. But if they know someone who's already working with that company, then it's easier for them to slip in that fighter, on undercards.
Do you remember when? I'm sorry. Did anybody else want to say something before I jump in?
No, go ahead.
Do you remember when we had Ivan on and he was saying Star Boxing was trying to renegotiate the deal after? Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Hank Lundy was actually texting me right then because I hit him up. I said, "Hey, I forgot to ask you." I'm sorry. I'm gonna come right back to my question, Rachel. I said I forgot to ask you: did BLK or Red Promo give you an advance for purse or for training? He said no. He said I can't. I mean, but no, they didn't. But for the most part, all right. So my question is, how can a promoter have an agreement with the fighter, Rachel, and say, "Hey, yeah, I'll sign the waiver for the bout agreement, and you can go over there. You just signed to me. I don't have a." Okay, matter of fact, let's take it back. Star Boxing solicited him with the fight. He signed. The fight is for whatever reason is taken away. They end up going another direction. He can't fight that guy. What happens next is he's still locked in to Star Boxing for 3 years. How does that even work? How's that possible?
depending on what is in the terms of the agreement, you should only sign with a promoter if the said bout actually goes through, right? That's what it should be done. But all these, I mean, let's just be honest, the lawyers that they hire are working for them. They're working for the promoter. So they're going to, pull everything 100% to their side. Rightfully so. And your own lawyer should be trying to pull it onto your side, right? So most of the times what I've seen is like, hey, you want this? Like, well, but I mean, if I invest my time and money is what they say, putting you in this position, I need to know that you're going to be with me for the long haul of 3 years. And most of the time what they'll do is they'll just sign it, right? Without a clause that says if this agreed upon fight that or proposed fight does not happen, this contract does not stay in effect. That clause in itself is the way out for the boxer. And instead of being like baited into, hey, look, I got this, like, let's just say he went to, to Lundy or whatever and was like, look, I got a Crawford fight for you, lined up, and he signs, right? If that fight doesn't happen, he'd have his way out on that clause. I'm not going to say I haven't seen that contract, so I don't know if that was in there. I highly doubt it, though, because like I said, a lot of the promoters are going to try to lock you in on promises that they're going to actually deliver. And if you don't hold them to their word within that contract, then they got you locked in. It's all they can say is like, look, I tried. They just didn't fruition because they didn't want the fight. That's all they have to say. They say that they're going to negotiate in good faith. How much is good faith? Like, you made a phone call and it didn't happen, and that was your job, and now you're locked in for 3 years, and you didn't get the fight that you were allegedly promised. You have to have that way out if they don't deliver on their word.
Shit. I mean, at the same time, that's why promoters do that, because they probably done lost money on, in doing that, investing in a boxer, whatever, giving them the money, and then
Q, did you hear though Ivan's interview? They invested zero. All they invested was putting his face on their website. They haven't got him a fight. They haven't gave him a purse. He didn't get a signing bonus. The fight that I signed with you guys I signed a 3-year agreement with you guys to get this fight. I signed with you. This fight is taken away. Where's the money spent? Q, where's the money spent? You brought up money being spent. They spent $0 according to Ivan Redcatch.
I wasn't specifically talking about Ivan. I was just saying, like, just a promoter just going to anybody. Shit, not even just Ivan. That could have been Ivan, that could have been a different boxer. It's just how they do it. It's up to the boxer to negotiate and get something better, or probably try to get a better situation. But
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said, that's for the boxer to try to get that better situation. I think, like people saying, most promoters, that's what they do. They come standard with 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, a bullshit contract. The same promoter that was promoting Crawford.
Q, striking the lighter and the mic and everything, bro.
Man, that nigga Q need weed anonymous.
Get a new lighter, but you focus upon lighting that blunt ain't about to light right now, man. You got to get another lighter.
Shit, I wasn't even striking the lighter when just now. Shit, I was.
I'm sorry, but say that last part again, bro.
Yeah, but I was like, shit, even Terrence Crawford deal, he had a bullshit ass deal. Even when he signed with Top Rank, and either him or Bob Beerum was, paying them while paying that dude off a percentage while Terrence Crawford was fighting for Top Rank. So I don't know, man. That's just, I think these boxers probably just don't have to I don't know. I guess believe in themselves. Sometimes you gotta eat bologna sandwiches, man. Some of them motherfuckers thinking they gonna get this wish or this promise to get this or get that. And we looking at now boxers that's promoting themselves. Devin Haney, guys like that believe in themselves and see where he got himself. So
hold on. So Q, I'm not trying to be combative, but you think it's just that simple as guys just don't believe in themselves?
no, I don't. I'm not saying it's just that. I'm saying that's one of the things that you actually gonna have to do. You actually gonna have to work hard, get those fights, do them performances, get that name, get that those followers, those people that's seeing you become an attraction, and that's how you're gonna be worth more. That's how promoters are gonna value you over the next, because you already coming to them and you got a following, you got people already willing to invest or whatever, or probably already did that. So
you're talking about getting popular, basically.
No, I'm saying it's a lot of different things to do to get yourself in a position where you could probably get a better deal, rather than just taking the first thing somebody promoter throw to you.
Okay, fair enough. The Boston Scholar said, Rachel, has Nonito ever signed 24 hours before a fight, like Steven said?
Before I came into full management of Nonito, yes. I wouldn't say 24 hours because that's, pretty much after the weigh-in. I would say press conference, week of,
Really?
Thursday, Wednesday. Yep.
So
and
then,
how smooth it worked.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Sorry?
I was saying, how smooth did that work out? Were there hiccups?
Oh yeah, there was totally hiccups, complete hiccups. But I treaded lightly because at the same time, it's fight week, Nonito's cutting. I know if I say, hey, like, we're here, but we're not stepping in the ring because the contract's wrong, I know I'm going to get my head chopped off. I just know it, right? So I never, I allowed it to ride until I fully stepped into the position where basically you present us with a contract 12 weeks before, or we start negotiating 12 weeks before. 8 weeks there has to be a signed contract, or you can kiss my ass goodbye. Like I don't play at any game. I mean, look at even the Niue fight. It was scheduled for April. We waited till June. I believe it was March that they said they're like, oh, we're sending over the bout agreement by I want to say like April 1-ish, somewhere around there, April 15th. I was like, if I don't get that damn bout contract, we're moving on. It is what it is.
And how much do you push before you don't want to push it to where you put yourself in a bad spot with a promoter who, kind of in there where you not bluffing each other, but you're kind of playing that tug of war situation before you feel that you push too much before they begin to just say, they move you aside, and then you have to worry about becoming,
blacklisted. The best part of the whole thing, right, is Nonito's known as the good guy in boxing. I'm known as the bitch. I'm fine with being it. And the thing is that all the guys, Chopper, Golden Boy, PBC, Richard, Mr. Honda, like, you talk to any single one of them and they know exactly how I operate. I've always been black and white since the very beginning. And this has always been my border. And I've never moved that goalpost. So I think because I've always stayed in that and I've never wavered from it, they know it's not her trying to be difficult. This is how she does business. And so I've never had pushback from them at all. The only pushback I've ever gotten was, for example, if they couldn't sign the other fighter down, right? I understand that logistical nightmare, but we should be talking about that way before 8 weeks before the fight. We're not going to, have that discussion and 4 weeks before you still don't know who we're fighting. That's not what's happening. So I just think because of, like I talked to Steven, I talked to all of them. Like, I have them all on my phone. And I think because they know my personality and this is just how it is for our team. I don't think they've never taken to slight. I've never had to call their bluff. It's just how it is. Especially because my whole plight is that, for example, the Niue fight that moved from April to June, I'm like, He's been in the gym since January, and we were supposed to go to April. Now you're telling me it's June. You haven't given me a date yet. I can't keep Nonito in the gym this much sparring, and he needs to peak, right? So there's a timing on his 8 to 0 weeks, how many rounds of sparring he's supposed to do. But if you're moving the goalpost, he can't do that. So it's in the best interest for business in addition to his conditioning. And so because it's two folds for us, and we completely laid that out a long time ago, they understand our position, and no one's ever like really said I was being hard about that.
Right, and but for other fighters, because you guys are more of an established name than the game, when it went into like the negotiation situation for that Inoue fight, but I guess the Inoue first fight was probably easier to make, being y'all were in that tournament or whatnot. How were negotiations with that? Did you have much pushbacks, or you just had to flow with the system of that tournament? And is that an easier system for promoters? And does it take away your leverage in the game when it's set up through tournament style like that?
Well, the tournament style, it's fun, right? Because you know who you're gonna fight. Well, supposedly you know who you're gonna fight next once the brackets start falling down. Um, they also tell you, you know, who the first, second, and third ranking is, and where the fight's going to be if it lands. So you already have the fight venue, you already have the opponent. Everyone's locked down from the first place all the way down to, I believe, 6 or 7, I can't remember, 8, how many people were in that tournament. And your purses, they're all locked in. The bonuses, all locked in. Doesn't matter who you're going to fight. So unfortunately, if you're fighting, you know, you pull the luck of the draw and you're fighting the A-level fighter, you don't get to negotiate. Like, you were locked into a tournament because you didn't know when you signed in a tournament who was going to pick who. So that's the only bad thing about the tournament. The good thing about the tournament is they had set venues and locked in dates already. So I wouldn't say locked in dates. I would say locked in months, as far as, okay, well, this next tournament's going to be held in Japan, Florida, whatever, Glasgow, in this month. Like, you knew it was within that month, right? And then they just needed to secure the venue for the exact date that they were going out with. But because of how the tournament was ran, they pretty much knew, you know, the venues that they were looking at, and who wanted, you know, the fights, et cetera, et cetera. So I like the tournament style to get exposure and to get activity, because you knew, right? You knew that you were good. As long as you kept winning, you had another fight lined up. And you just had to watch the brackets. The only bad thing, like I said, is there is no negotiation in a tournament. Like, everything's locked in before you, when you enter and sign that contract.
Man, so the tournament style seem more beneficial for a promoter. Why don't more promoters run that system, or is it harder to get fighters to buy into that because of the lack of your lack of ability to negotiate a price or whatnot?
I think the fighters in the WBSS didn't have any issue with the money that was given. It was more so like the promoters are taking a gamble. Yes, they're going to get 20 to 30% of the boxer's purse because they're not the lead promoter. It was the Starlin brothers, who, you know, was the head of the WBSS, so their head promoter. So they'll just take 20, 30%, whatever the agreement is, on the boxer's promotional agreement, as a co-promote to take those fights. Now, putting all the belts into a tournament does risk, you know, those promoters that had a champion, and they'd risk losing their titles to a completely different promoter, and everything that they ever did to build up that fighter to get him the title shot and win the title in the first place gets washed out in the tournament because they could lose and end up with nothing. Whereas if you were having an in-house tournament, let's just say Teofimo versus Ramirez, it stays with Top Rank. There's not really that much of a risk.
Sounds like that old Don King method. I'm gonna leave with the champion regardless.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. And so promoters really have issues with the belts leaving to another promotion. And I guess that can interfere. So when you went into that second NUA fight, which was away from the tournament style, how was that negotiation? Was it difficult to making the fight, or did you have to make concessions, being that he won the tournament, he's more of an A side, or y'all really didn't make that too much of a factor?
There wasn't really much of a factor. We knew because of the fact that we held something that Inoue wanted. Without that, we could have froze him out, right? And he would have never gotten the BC belt. But Nonito was really adamant in getting the fight. Mr. Honda is a very good friend of ours. He runs Tekken Promotions. Ohashi is the actual promoter of Inoue. Anything in Japan is headlined by Mr. Honda. So we only had to directly deal with Mr. Honda and Tekken Promotions. We didn't have to deal with Top Rank or anything like that. I think if it was, we'd be in the same position we kind of are right now with Jason Maloney, where it's like, well, are we going to negotiate or are we going to push this to a purse bid? Because both, like Top Rank has already said, they don't want to deal with Probellum. Same thing with Ramirez versus Prograis. So it was easy for us because of the fact that our relationship with Mr. Honda has been long stemmed way back in 2009. And it was, Richard talking to Mr. Honda. So for us, it was a fairly easy negotiation. It was just the only thing was COVID. That's what was pushing everything around. If you remember, December was when Triple G and Murata was supposed to fight. They got pushed to April. And so we got pushed from April to June. And then there was so many visa barrings because of COVID. It was, that was the more irritating part than anything, not the negotiations.
That's some interesting shit. You back, Mark?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? Oh, yeah. I was gonna say something, but I'll let Q respond real quick. I'll go ahead because Q's been quiet. Go ahead. Q, you want to react? All right, well, let me do the super chat real quick. Shout out to Matty Yoel. Matty Yoel said, he said, hi, Martin Nash in the chat. It's my birthday. Sorry to bother you. Nah, man, you ain't no bother, bro. Happy birthday to Matty Yoel. Happy birthday. Let me give him a drop. Happy birthday to Matty Yoel.
I got 5 on it.
Yeah, you're not a bother, bro. Happy birthday to you. Everybody in the chat, say happy birthday to Matty Yoel.
Happy birthday to your old ass. No, I'm playing.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. What do you think should happen or could happen to, I guess, change the business of boxing? I heard people saying they need a board or things like that. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Should there be some kind of oversight?
Oh, I think so, but it's just going to be hard to do. I mean, you're looking at a worldwide sport. You could have a board. The ABC is the board here in the U.S., but then we have fights over in the U.K., Mexico, and Canada, wherever. And so whenever there's different promoters and different fighters from all over the world, you really need it's going to be like a world panel. And how do you regulate something on such a huge stage? Like, you're literally talking about different countries and their rules and regulations.
Rules, right? With sanctioning bodies,
sorry?
They have unified rules of boxing for a championship fight. I.e., it's going to be 12 rounds, no 3 knockdown rule. If a cut happens, you know how we got unified rules for championship boxing? That's global, right? It's a world title.
That is a world title, and that's through the sanctioning bodies, but not through.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, I mean that's not through like the commissions, through the laws of every single country of how legal contracts are done, et cetera, et cetera. Like I said, like it's difficult because the whole thing with Ramirez and Prograis, right? You have one guy who had won the title and the other guy wants to fight him, but then he's getting a lower cut and he's like, screw this, I'm walking out. It's like, okay, well, there should be concessions to that. I'm sorry if you're rated, but you're turning down a fight because of monetary, where you had the opportunity to be the world champion and you decided not to do the fight for your own personal reasons. and you lost that opportunity, you don't get to change the rules based on your own narrative. And you're holding up other people that could be ranked higher that would have taken that spot from you for 35%, and they just wanted the title shot opportunity, right? So that's what I'm saying, that even within that, and those are both in the US, WBC is a Mexican organization that has an LA headquarters, but it's still, if we can't even do that on that small of a level, a world global stage is going to be completely chaotic and different, especially with the contracts.
But my sister, we don't even have that in America. Like, it's like my here's my issue. I don't feel like the commission should have been able to suspend Hammer and Hank Lundy just with a rubber stamp and just move forward, and it is what it is. There's no checks and balances where the promoter has to say, hey, look, this guy did this. He said this. He said he couldn't fight because he was injured. We ain't got to put his foot around it. Part of my vernacular, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to say, okay, so the guy says I'm injured. By the time I'm clear of the injury, it's pretty much the week of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Or the week after the fight. Like 1 week after the fight, I'll be clear to injure. I have 2 weeks after that where I can fight somebody else. Like, I'm done with you. It's a one-off. I'm a free agent. You didn't pay me nothing. I didn't take any money from you. The only thing was spent on the plane tickets. Okay, I can give you back the money for the plane tickets, but that should be done and over with. He should not be able to stop this man's power to earn, and the commission should not be able to say, excuse me, hold on. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. The commission should not be able to just say, all right, you said he did something, he was breaching contract, we're going to suspend him. It's no checks and balances. Before we do that, Mr. Lundy, where is the note from your doctor? What day was the cut? What day did you submit your evidence? He should not have to go spend money in court to fight this. And all the promoter has to do is make a call or email to take away probably one of your biggest career earnings, at least top 2, top 3, I'm sure.
So the only thing with the Lundy fight, like, I understand what you're saying, that commission shouldn't just have an oversight. The only thing that I could perceive as being a problem, and this is my assumption based on the contract, was if there is any postponement due to injury, whether valid with a medical reasoning, that they would have first right of a refusal for the following the bout to be moved to a later date, not later than 90 days after said postponement. If that's in the contract, you're screwed.
But if
he has first,
right now, what you're saying sounds like the promoter has set theirself a safety fall for something like
correct.
this happening. Like, you pull out of my fight for a cut, but you're ready to fight somebody else. Shit, 2-3 weeks after that, I'm still covered. Like, nope, I'm still a party that, and you got to pay me, blah, 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 blah. But if the promoter sent over a 1-page bout agreement, it's just the date of the fight, the purses, the location, time of venue. Like, if that's all they sent over and that's all we agreed to, what leg do you think they have to stand on in this case? That's why Frank Lundy's saying, I want to say, frankly, Hank Lundy is saying this, because he's very frank. Frankly, matter of fact, when he's speaking these things, like, he's saying, frankly, you guys don't have a leg to stand on. You his words, not mine. You fucked up in your paperwork that you said, and I'm gonna sue your ass and I'm gonna win because I have a doctor note saying I'm cleared this day. The fight is this day. I pulled out of this fight that day because of the injury. You agreed to it. Now that part is verbal, but frankly, Hank Lundy is saying, I'm about to win this shit and you're gonna have to pay me my purse. Do you see that happening? Is that possible?
I mean, I really can't say. I actually looked through some of the bout agreements that different boxers had sent me before I even came up when you were talking about bout agreements with Lundy. I can't say yes or no, because if that, like, usually I've seen, I would give it about 50% from the bout contracts that I pulled out that does have all those things that you said, but like 50% has a postponement agreement. And then of course they have the acts of God clause in there as well. Pretty much COVID, whatever, flood, hurricane, all those things being said. So he's the only person, unless I see that contract, I'm going to stay on, if it's in there, then he has an issue. If it's not in there, then he has a leg to stand on. But I can't say either way, Mark. Like, I don't want to be, ignorant of the fact that I haven't seen it. So I can't say he will or will not without actually seeing the contract.
According to Hank Lundy, there's no, it's nowhere, because here's my issue with this. And Reg knows how I stand on this. He's my guy. Got love for Reggie Owens. I met him in person. We kicked it. Did a live episode that day. Support him 100%. But I was like, man, you trying to put this on BLK Prime like they doing something nefarious, like they're doing something inappropriate. And that's why I was like, damn, bro, that's why I was like, let's get him on the show. Let's hear from the fighter what happened. Then to assume that something that is going on that ain't on the up and up. Like even a while ago, Reg was like, well, BLK Prime got some people over there that don't know the business of boxing. We don't know their board. We don't know everybody that got going on. This doesn't look good, but that Terrence Crawford fight didn't have none of these hiccups. I'm just saying, like, just think we should try to talk to the people. Like, open. The door is open to Star Promotions and Red Boxing.
Hey, and you know what, Mark? Hey, see if you can get an Avanesian fight, because Avanesian's situation is similar to Hank Lundy's, being he did have a fight going on over there. He was able to get himself out of that fight, being he dropped the belt, got out of that fight, took this one without any hiccups. What did Avanesian do? Did Avanesian do the right things?
He got Frank Warren
to set things straight for that other fighter, and for the fact that European title was on the line.
Well, they dropped the European title, and Frank Warren was the one that was putting the fight on. So it was easier. Like it'd be different if to make it parallel, it'd be Lundy grabbing that other promoter that, the one that signed contract in California, Red Dragon, I think you said, or something.
No. Y'all are trolling. Yo, y'all are trolling. I'm never gonna get Red
What
Dragon.
happened?
Damn, y'all got me calling him Red Dragon Promotion. He's not Red Dragon Promotion. It's Red.
Oh Jesus!
Boxing. It's Red Boxing.
You guys messed me up. Okay.
Reggie is the only because he's
Reggie, you got me saying the wrong thing. Damn it! I thought it was legit.
My bad. I thought it was called that. My bad.
Hey,
I literally was like, Red Dragon. I was like, is there like a Chinese promotion I didn't know about it?
No, because Hank Lundy started that. He was saying red lining. He was calling it Red Everything Promotions.
Oh, okay.
So shout out to Hank Lundy, man. He's boy, that man can talk. He got a story to tell, and I look forward to chopping it up with Hank Lundy again real soon. I definitely look forward to chopping it up with him soon. And he's probably listening. I did send him the link, but you guys know it's not Red Dragon Promotion.
Thanks, guys.
It's Red Boxing Promotion. Here we go. But I'm sorry. That's hilarious. But go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. So it might have been different if he pulled them in and said, "Hey, like drop this guy, and I want you to negotiate on my behalf." But why would he do that? He'd be giving money over to Red, whatever it is at this point.
Hold on, stop right there, Rachel. Stop right there. Also, legally, he's under no obligation to do so. We have a one-page bout agreement for this one fight. I'm a free agent. That fight is scrapped because of my eye. Okay, y'all moving forward. I'm moving forward. That's it. I know he doesn't. Oh, it's like we're putting too much onus on the fighter to be so to be so honorable to the people who won't even pay for your funeral when you die.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so Frank Warren though had Avanesian, right? So that fight being set up the way it was, he probably just had to, give that guy, because of the training expenses that he had to incur, and said, go off your merry way. since I'm the promoter that signed it, I'm sure that the promotions have, some wiggle room with him, which was probably just like, hey, listen, we're going to take you out of the fight with Avanesian. We're going to vacate the freaking European belt. You could go fight for the European belt for all we care, since he was the opponent of Avanesian was authorized to fight for the European title. Listen, you could keep the damn European title. Go fight for the vacant. We're going to give you training expense money that's worth your while and go away. You know what I'm saying? And then Frank Warren brought Avanesian over to BLK. So it's not the same parallel conversation that we're happening of what happened with Avanesian and Lundy.
And another reason why too, because, and the main reason I think, and to surmise everything you said, Avanesian was not a free agent during a one-off.
Correct.
Then he is signed to Frank Warren. So Frank Warren, essentially all he had to do was sign a bout agreement, like David was speaking about with Star Boxing. I'm signed to you, so you do have to sign a release. You get your cut of my purse as my promoter for signing the bout agreement, whatever that agreement is.
You're talking about Frank Warren?
Yes, and that David is situation, like Frank Warren doesn't have to say.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So what they would do with Frank Warren is they would actually have him sign a provision of services agreement for Avanesian, because he's already signed. He's not signing over. He's allowing him to fight over. So it's a provision of service agreement from Frank BLK to Frank Warren to provide Avanesian. That's how it would work.
I think Ivan Redcatcher Ani might try to jump on right now. They just hit me up.
Really?
You cool with that, Rachel?
Huh?
You cool with that? You want to chop it up with him?
I'm good with Ivan.
All right, cool.
I'm good with everyone, I think. Well, I don't know who's not good with me though, so fair warning.
You good with the host. That's all that matters. And Rachel, you know you good with me all the time, bro. Met you in real life. Like they like to say on the show. I met you in real life. You know,
right. And we ain't always got to agree on shit.
Reggie, that whole shit is documented. We that live is still up. You and I argued for an hour on live. I will push him out the way of the camera, and I'll say something. I'll be like, "Yo, Reggie owns on some bullshit," and he'll push me out of the way of the camera, and he'll jump right back on. That shit was dope, Reg. Hey, look,
right. And that's what I want people to understand, man. Because I be like tripping when I be clowning folks and talking shit. That don't mean it's beef. I don't agree with everybody, and I don't want everybody agreeing with me. We ain't got to lie to kick it. And that's a big thing where I'm from. You don't lie to kick it with motherfuckers just to agree with them. You don't agree on some shit, you stand on what you believe on. That don't mean you falling out with people.
Oh, go ahead. I'm replying back to Arnie and Ivan.
Oh yeah. So I'll be like, man, people should be able to speak what they want. Don't agree with me, and I think that's part of debate. Scholar, like even with scholars have to debate before things become acceptable as far as the principles of law. Like scholars have to go about, shooting back ideals or your belief on certain systems, and a lot of people don't understand that shit. They immediately think that, oh man, they beefing. They don't. Nah, man, that's what scholarly motherfuckers. I don't care. You talking about Socrates, Plato, or whatever. They go back and forth, kicking over their points of views on shit. So that's just my little bit of kicking wisdom on how things go.
Go ahead, Miss Rachel.
What's up?
Go ahead. You want to reply to that?
No, I mean, with any conversation, I think, everyone has their point of view. Everyone also brings different experiences. And I think, for me, it's always about, us speaking our truth, whatever we've been involved in and whatever we've seen. You guys have had access to different fighters that have different experiences as well. And I think just bringing it to light and agreeing to either, disagree or agree, for me, I don't ever take it personal. So, and I love these discussions because I think, I don't like to use the word duck. Nonito will say the same thing. We don't like using the word duck, because of the fact that there are circumstances that prevent fighters from really wanting to do things. You see these fighters, you hear Lundy. He's so passionate and really wants to fight. And to say at any point that, oh yeah, whatever, you're just trying to duck, not saying that anyone was saying that, but just using that word in particular to me it's different if you have full control of your career and you can move everywhere else. But we've seen it time and time again that that's not always the case. So I like to hold judgment for everybody.
Yeah, absolute. But back into this the boxing side of things, man. What is y'all next situation like? Oh no, this is the question I want to ask. When it comes into situations like y'all, because I assume that you guys are independent, doing your thing. How hard is it for an independent fighter? But then again, I guess because you are a manager, so it's not so much of just being independent. If it's a fighter that's out here doing their own thing where they represent themselves, they don't have management, how hard is it for them? And then fighters like in your situation where you're not with any one promotion, how hard is it from your perspective, but you are management versus a fighter that is signed with a promoter and manager?
So with us, we're actually with Richard Schaefer. So it's an interesting dynamic because he works with all promoters, right? He has absolutely no problem working with Tech and Promotions, with PBC, Top Rank. So for us, it's like this kind of fun little playground that we have more playmates to play with, right? With other fighters, as far as manager and fighter, or manager and fighter in one of the things that I have noticed, and it is just the fact that sometimes people, when they're trying to be the jack of all trades, it doesn't work. A lot of the fighters just want to focus on fighting instead of trying to negotiate out things in the boardroom, right? Looking at contracts, going fine lines, and a lot of them, just honestly don't have the experience to do so. So they'd rather focus on what they're good at. So I can't knock them for that. The only thing is that they just have to find a team that they can trust. That is one of the hardest things to do in this game, because there's a lot of people that sell snake oil.
Right. And then but being in this type of game, like what are some of the things that you guys put in place? Do you guys work with a legal team like to ensure that you're not getting caught up in situations where a promoter isn't paying out with what you agreed on? Do you have any set lawyers that you stay on the books, or how do you go about that to ensure that you're not being ripped off before it comes to that situation? And have you had to go through those court situations where you have to sue a promoter?
We have lawyers that are on call, but we haven't had to use them. Well, yeah, Richard has his own lawyer.
No, I'm saying like Richard usually takes care of all of that stuff behind the scene, because no one's gonna mess with us when knowing that they are dealing with him, and for her, it's it takes away all of the unnecessary stuff, because Richard knows what he's doing. And the thing about a lot of fighters is they don't know what they're doing. They're either overprice themselves, or they get lowballed by the promoters, because they don't know the real numbers behind it. And so with that, like with Richard around, it's easy for me, because they're not going to mess with the contract, not giving me the contracts or the money or all of that stuff. And Richard does all what he needs to do. If we don't get the check or something, right, he'll fight for it. He'll bat for me, so but the difference between fighters and not having that understanding or that experience is, again, they don't get the right price, or they over value themselves, and they're asking for all the other stuff where it isn't really necessary, when there's a conversation between you as a fighter and the promoter. Like for instance, with Floyd, when Floyd did his stuff before, he dealt with it with himself, but he did have a good team behind him. With Oscar, he had a good team behind him. So for a lot of fighters, if they want to go in that route, they got to have the big name first, and second, they gotta have a good team around so that everything is on the table.
That they trust, that there's transparency between the parties, and that's one of the biggest things that we have with Richard is there's transparency.
And
Um,
Richard, you mean Schaefer? Richard Schaefer or
yeah, Richard
another
Schaefer.
Richard?
Richard Schaefer, sorry. Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
then so say if you had a legal situation, how much, like for independent fighters out there, how much will legal representation cost them, like by hour for however lawyers charge? What is the price of fighters looking to come out of pocket on that?
I mean, it really depends. If you're keeping them on retainer per month, then you're looking. It depends on how high level of the lawyer you want. You're looking at anywhere between $200 to $1,000 a month. If you're just looking at something like that's a one-off, those are a lot easier. Those are billable hours that could easily be $300 to $500 for a contract for them to look it over. But if the only thing is that if that contract, takes more than just one look over, for example, they send over an amendment, they send over, changes in the contract, then you're just racking up these bills, right? Every time you get on the phone call with them, it's billable hours. So it just has to be something, that whatever is able for the boxer, for them to pay financially is always better.
Or you can have a really good friend as a lawyer, and then they they hook you up with a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, that too.
We have a lot of friends that just kind of like, yeah, I'll look into it, and then they'll look into it. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't it's good to have friends everywhere. You know what I mean? So,
but honestly, after you've been in the game for so long, these contracts look pretty much copy paste from LegalZoom. I'm not gonna say LegalZoom, but they're pretty much the same, right? You have the terms, you have the extensions, you have the postponements, you have how much it is, you have what else do you have?
And if you don't understand the words or the verbiage, that's when you can ask somebody. But ultimately, like she said, everything pretty much look exactly alike, or they just kind of you start to understand the words and the verbiage and stuff like that.
There's rarely any of the bout agreements that are different, or even the promotional agreements. They all have the same one. The worst one that boxers don't understand, and you almost have to take out a calculator or put it on a whiteboard, is our term is 4 years, and then we also have a plus 1 year if you become a mandatory, plus 5 fights if you become a world champion, plus this, like all those added extensions. So then they understand how long the term of their actual contract is.
I remember talking to Ivan, and he told me a situation, and he said, we're dealing with Star Boxing. I don't know if you guys caught this part of the interview, but he said when working with Star Boxing, they would do things like this. Your contract is over. You have a new bout agreement coming up. I guess people just doing their checks and balances, reach out to Star Boxing, and Star Boxing jumps in and sues, or whatever happens. They step in and said, hey, no, your contract is renewed and you're still with me. So in the process, what happens is that other opportunity goes away. They lose that opportunity because people are like, man, we ain't trying to deal with all of that. Let's just find another opponent, How is that even?
Yeah, nobody wants to look like. Well, I mean, so the contract was automatically renewed. So they have clauses in there that it's automatically renewed. If there is no written agreement within 30 days of the contract, or prior to the contract's end, the termination of the contract, if they didn't put in writing, and they'll do this because they know boxers don't freaking put it in their damn calendar. 30 days before the termination of this contract, if the fighter has not given us written notification that he would like to terminate the contract going forward, this contract will automatically be renewed for another term. And if you didn't meet that deadline, they're going to say, well, why didn't you didn't put it in your calendar? It's not our fault that you didn't look at it. So yeah, I've seen it happen.
So you actually have to send in a paper saying, hey, look, we're done. If you don't do
Correct.
that, auto renew.
And let me just put this in. I'm not talking about a phone call. I'm not talking about an email. I'm not talking about a text message. What I'm talking about is legal notices that is built into your contract that says send all legal notices to this address. That's what you have to do. And you have to have a signature that says that someone actually received it or something that basically
certified mail.
Yeah, correct.
You've been served.
How many of the boxers do you think do that?
Reggie, can you pour me a big glass of never heard of it, please, sir?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. I and that's what I noticed with Ivan and Hank Lundy's situation. Hank was speaking, and you guys don't have to go into too much detail on this, but Hank was saying, "Hey man, a lot of times you don't talk to the top guys." How is your situation like? Because every fighter situation is different. Have you guys ever spoke to Steven Espinoza directly? Have you ever spoke to Al Heyman directly?
Oh,
have you ever spoke to Al Heyman?
Yeah.
Because everybody's different.
Yeah.
So I want you to tell me your
No,
story.
yeah. I've spoken to Bob Arum directly, Todd DeBuff directly.
Just pull it up.
Steve.
Anya Redcatcher's in the building. Shout out to Anya.
Oh, hey.
Go ahead, sister. Go ahead.
Al Heyman, friggin' Oscar, of course, on his whole team, Eric Gomez, when Roberto Diaz was there, same thing. Steven Espinoza, out of all of them, I would say is one that we freaking frequent having dinner. Whenever he was in Vegas, he'd call us up and we'd go and eat when Hard Rock was the Hard Rock. Now it's Virgin. But phone call, text, he'll answer my calls all day. So it just really depends, right? Because a lot of these, a lot of boxers, like I believe Reggie, you said this about the personality of the boxer and being able to have them be a person outside of the boxing ring. It's a lost art. And some of them are really dry. Because they're dry, it's harder if it's hard for the fans to connect with them, it's also hard for execs to connect with them, right? You can toss Nonito into any situation and he's able to follow the conversation and contribute to the conversation. So we've built these relationships off of I'm coming in for this fight. You guys want to do dinner Wednesday? And, I usually leave my week free whenever there's a big fight in Vegas because I know these phone calls come up, right? And they get to know Nonito, and Nonito is always playing around. He's opposite what he's like in the ring. And it's interesting because fight week, those execs leave him alone. They know the guy that we met in Vegas when we were just having dinner and chopping it up is different from this fight week right now, and I'm not going to bug him. So I mean, our relationships are different with the people that they were saying. We have access and, normally do call these people when we need to talk to them or whatever.
So you met Al Heyman? You met him? Y'all talked to Al Heyman?
I've talked to him, but Nonito has actually met him back in, God, what year did he say? 2004. It was something about they met at a Beyonce or Destiny's Child thing, and Al asked him if he wanted to go to the concert. Something like that.
And he went.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then there to see them be look at Nonito. He was like, my body's so bootylicious. You like, man, I'm going to this shit. Let's go.
Yeah.
He lit.
He said he was actually supposed to sign with Al way back then.
What?
It must have been his dad wanted him to go to the Philippines. So from wherever they were, I think he was sparring or something, and Al was interested in signing Nonito, but his dad took him to the Philippines. And pretty much was like, nope, we're up and leaving from the US, and they took off to the Philippines, and then that pretty much ended the conversation from that point. So when Al popped up, years later, and I was asking him about him, he's like, yeah, he's like, I met a long time ago. He's like, I was actually supposed to sign to Al. I can't remember which boxer he said introduced him. I gotta ask him. I can't remember.
See, I was assuming y'all didn't sign because he didn't have fighters in that division. And
Mm-mm.
then
No, this is years ago. Yeah, like before I even met him. Years ago, before Darchinian. Years ago.
Was this before? So, oh, this was way before Mayweather. This was when Mayweather was still on HBO then.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
and then Rachel, let me ask this one question, Mark. Rachel, what pushed y'all towards this route? Was it one bad experience? Because I think you guys were top ranked fighters at one point, right? What was it? One
Correct.
experience or multiple experiences that pushed you guys away from signing with a promotion, deciding to kind of do your own business and go where you're free to wherever you land, like you're free to do whatever. What situations turned this into this what you guys have going on?
I think for me, like, first of all, like, there's no hate for Top Rank, but I honestly like more of like the more I can pick up the phone and I can get an answer directly. Top Rank is very corporate. It's not a knock on them. That's just what it is, right? But I didn't like it how is, you'd call Todd and Todd would say, call this guy, and this guy would say, call that guy. And I'm like, dude, just come on, just give me my answer. Right. So for me, that and the fact that, like, the contracts were like every other contract, 3 plus 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 3 years plus 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 plus, and that eats up a lot of the time that you have. One of the biggest issues that we didn't like is not being able to take, like, the best routes Nonito wanted to take. I know when he wanted to fight Abner Mares, who was at Golden Boy, the story, quote unquote, was that Golden Boy sent us an offer, excuse me, and I never saw it. So those key market fights, Nonito wanting to fight Abner Mares, Leo Santa Cruz, that never got made. Those are the things that, for us, we're like, well, why can't you guys all just get along? And unfortunately, we can't get everyone to get along, but we can do whatever we want to do. So it just felt better that, for us, for his legacy at the most, to be able to make the decisions he wants to do.
So, and he is 100% an independent agent right now, right? Free agent.
He is with Richard.
He's with who?
So Richard Schaefer.
Okay, he's with. And is that Probellum?
It's Probellum.
I heard Probellum. I thought Richard Schaefer sold Probellum last week. Somebody told me that was going around. Little Birdie told me. Who is that?
I'm not really sure about all those rumors because I've been really focused right now about cornering Jason Maloney. But I'm not like, yeah, I've heard about it. Like, I saw some tweets or something. But I mean, in all honesty, it's not really like that affecting of us either, because of the fact that, like, we signed the promotion agreement with Richard Schaefer himself and Ringstar Promotions, which was prior to Probellum. So I mean, wherever, whatever happens, if Probellum gets sold or doesn't get sold or whatever it is, like, I'm not super concerned about it, because wherever Richard is, that's where we're going, and that's who I trust. I don't put our trust in very many people in boxing, but I trust him.
And then what were his roles? He an advisor, or he's actually your promoter?
Promoter.
And you are the manager, correct?
Yes.
Who decides your legal counsel? Do you pick your own legal counsel, or do they refer you to legal counsel?
No, we have our own legal counsel. And just because, like I said, like, the people have their own, their legal counsels are going to work for them. So I have a group of lawyers that I can tap, and then and ping anything off of them as far as, the contracts. But like I said, at this point in the game, it's basic cut and paste. It's really not that, difficult. The most difficult is the negotiation period. And then once that's put into the contract, it's the same thing. Every single contract looks almost pretty much exactly alike.
Okay, so how does this work? I remember when Bill Haney came out and was talking to Garrett Russell years ago. This was during 2020, and it was the COVID going on, and they was talking about term sheets. and people was like, sign the term. You remember that? So term sheet versus about agreement, are those one and the same? Are they synonymous or are they differential?
Their term sheets are basically being able to put together something so then when the bout agreement comes, like you already, agreed to pretty much the material stuff that's on the table. But the problem with term sheets is that they're not binding. It's just like their term sheets are not binding.
What is in the term sheet that's not binding? The weight, the location, my pay. What is binding, and what is the point of the term sheet if it's not binding?
Basically, that it's almost like an offer sheet if you think of it that way. And the thing, because of the fact that the entire term sheet, unless the term sheet states that there is no the venue and the date will be to be discussed, then the entire term sheet is just an offer that you say that you received. And then they put that into the bout contract is what's supposed to happen. But could you, once the bout contract comes, could you freely negotiate it? Yeah, because it's just saying that you just received the term sheet. It's not saying that you completely 100% agree to it. Unless that verbiage is in there. Hold on just a second. My son's ferret just got into my freaking, get your ferret out of my drawer.
No problem. Take your time.
He's right there.
I just got somebody just named down. This is my boy Porto. He is definitely a member of the neighborhood. Porto got Reggie O with the Killer Show. Nonito and Rachel Donaire is in the building. Thank you, Porto, for your time, energy. Thanks for your unwavering support, my brother. What's on your mind?
Don't trip, Mark. Mic check, by the way.
You super good. Go ahead. You sound like you're standing right there.
Hey, Rachel, Champ, what's up, Reggie? What's going on?
Hi, bro.
What you guys talking about? I got here kind of late. You just still breaking down the interview?
Puto, you know that's my pet peeve right there. I'm about to kick you out.
No, I mean I know what the reaction show is about. I just don't know where you guys were at in the moment of the show.
We're talking about the square root of contracts. No, I'm playing.
Yeah, we are like low key. We are. We're talking about boxing in the business, bro. Please don't tell me you clicked the link and you wasn't even listening, bro. You don't even know where we at.
I don't know where you're at. No, at this particular moment, no. But I did know you guys were talking about contracts.
I put on, with all due respect, I would never do this in real life, but for entertainment purposes, I need you to hold this for me. The hell is you doing? Embarrassing me in front of company.
I deserve that one, man.
Embarrassing me in front of company. Hold another. And another. To get your shit together, Porto. We got Rachel and Nonito down there. We got boxing royalty in the building tonight. Come on, what the hell is wrong with you? What the hell is wrong with you? Get your shit together, Porto.
I catch up quick.
Better ask him something. Cause I'm about to end this shit and kick you off the classroom. Embarrassing me in front of company. Now I'm fucking with. But Porto, we're talking about a lot though. We're talking about the ins and outs of boxing business. You got a question about boxing contracts, the sanctioning bodies, how guys rank where they at. How can the promoter for a one-off send a letter to the commission and get a boxer suspended without the commission reaching out to the boxer and saying, you got any proof of this before we suspend you and take you out of possibly the biggest payday of your life? They can just, promoters, like it seems like they get so much free reign, my brother. You want to jump in on this conversation at all or what?
I do. And can I be honest? Can I be frank?
I mean, shit, I've been frank already. I mean, don't be frank, be Puto.
All right, cool. I'll be Puto. The thing is my question is just call it boxing politics, just to put a simple word on it, is so ingrained into everything in the sport. I mean, I actually think that's one of the major, if not the major problem in the sport. Is there any way that we can able to get rid of the current system we have and implement something new?
It's gonna take like something like pretty much a Congress act, I think is what I said before, to do something where it's legal and it's answerable to a higher form like government. Um, for it to change. Like I said before, I think one of the biggest things that irritates me is, we keep hearing that people ducked. Oh, I sent over a contract and they didn't do anything with it, or they turned it down, and then the other person says we never received the contract. Because literally, I think that it should be regulated where when you purchase or when you're interested in purchasing a house, you send over an offer. And then when they send over the offer, you sign as the person who the offer is associated to that you received it. And then you either put what your counter offer is or that you decline the offer. But there's actually a chain of custody, for lack of a better word, where this paper is, who signed off of it, and who saw it. So we don't have this, I sent over the contract. No, you didn't. Yes, you did. You're just ducking. That whole narrative, like, to me, is it can be easily rectified. But until there is a law or something in place, a regulation that this is mandated and mandatory to do in the business practices, we're going to keep skirting the way that we do, unfortunately.
I hear you. And pertaining to the act of Congress, I mean, the last act of Congress that pertained to boxing, the Muhammad Ali Act, I mean, they subvert it all the time.
Well, it takes a lot of what is it called? Oh my God, I'm blanking right now. It takes a lot of money to get it done. First of all, you're going to have politicians, congressmen, senators like that are actually going to champion the act to do so. Does it really affect them? Is it going to give them? Unfortunately, is it going to get them more votes? And if it doesn't move the needle for them, they're not going to put that much time and effort into something that isn't that big of a problem for as far as the general population goes. The thing with the Muhammad Ali Act was it was brought forth and publicized so widely because of the name, specifically Muhammad Ali. The things that he did in not being in political office, but the political views that
Right.
he stood for. And because of that is why the needle moved. He shook people to make a change. But at this point in time, we don't have anyone that's championing us.
Mm.
I hear you.
Oh, that's beautiful. I truly couldn't agree more, Rachel. I feel like you when you hear Muhammad Ali Act, you be like, shit, I'm gonna sign for that. But what does that entail? Are you gonna regulate it? How are you gonna regulate it for real? Because you can't just use the name for it. I mean, you signed the Muhammad Ali Act. Did he get a big ass check at the end of the day? Like,
No, I doubt it.
you get a big ass check. Like, okay, well, we're gonna make sure you and your family are straight for life, no matter what, because obviously some wrong was done to you. We call it the Muhammad Ali Act. Nah, I just think it.
I mean, MMA fighters, UFC fighters have been trying to get get their sport, regulated within just the Muhammad Ali Act because of the lack of transparency within their contracts and what, they're making on top with the gate and the pay-per-view, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why a lot of the fighters in the UFC are so blinded by, not blinded, but they're blindfolded as far as when it comes into negotiations. They don't know their numbers because legally there is nothing that says MMA fighters need to know that. And that's why they've been fighting to get into the Muhammad Ali Act to be considered the same realm as where boxing is, where they also have transparency. That still hasn't come into effect. So you could see how hard this is to get it through for people to even pay attention to it.
But sister, what I'm
Salute
trying
to
to
Francis Ngannou for that. I just want to say that.
go ahead, Reg. I'm gonna type my question down so I don't forget it. But go ahead, Reg. You said salute.
No, I just want to say salute because what she's bringing up about MMA fighters and Muhammad Ali, and I was saying salute to Francis Ngannou because that's some of the things that he tried to fight for in this past negotiation. And then you got MMA legends who are fighting to create the organization to take it up to the courts and even the Congress to, bring about what Rachel's talking about, the Ali Act into MMA. So salute them and salute Francis for being in the position he's in to take a stand on that.
Um,
I
Because he's
agree.
advocating for other fighters and not just himself, when he can go in there and be selfish and make shit tons of money.
yeah, hey, look, a lack of transparency results in distrust and a deep sense of insecurity, also regret. Like transparency, but also transparency without oversight. Rachel, transparency without oversight is null and void, right? Oh, we lost her. Damn, we lost her. But I feel like sometimes we talk about transparency, but and guys get transparency, but we see guys able to maneuver ways through the Muhammad Ali Act here and there. You know, Reg, Poto.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And that's what I wanted to ask Rachel and Nonito. And not just how they can circumvent it, and especially like how you guys bring up Francis Ngannou and how they're trying to get some similar legislation in the UFC. But like they're going to need to construct something a bit better, because like they're supposed to get transparency with the current Ali Act that we have now, but don't we have boxers right now saying that they denied them transparency when they were trying to make the Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fight? I mean, it kind of doesn't make any sense. It's kind of contradicting itself.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I heard about that kind of gave me a little cause to pause. I heard Crawford said we agreed to everything they said, and I heard Steven say, I agreed to everything they wanted, right? But also I heard Steven say, hey, how did he say it? I can pull the clip up, but he spoke on like, I have trouble with giving a fighter approval of expenses. Like the week of the fight, we want to do some things here and there. I don't want to have to wait for a fighter's signature. You guys remember that?
I vaguely,
Nuh-uh.
but
okay. That's why I need to do a full. I need to do a full interview breakdown. I want to do a full interview breakdown on that, because he said that like, okay, so we trying. It's the week of the fight. I have to wait for a fighter's signature to do certain things. Like I have a problem with that, and I get it. But here's my question. That going into the contract, you can put that in the contract and say, hey, fight it, these expenses and certain things need to be cleared before the fight. Like, why are you waiting until the week of the fight to do certain promos and certain things that you need a signature on? Damn, I hate Rachel and Nonito missed that, but I'll say it again. Reg, do you want to react?
I'm sorry.
No, you good. I'll say it again.
Richard called and basically said the WBC handed down the mandatory negotiation. I had to take the call.
So it's official? It's going down?
It's official. We have to negotiate now. Like they can't.
I thought we should.
I
was excited for you guys.
No, no, I'm excited because here's the thing, and I don't want to take too much out of the topic that we were on, but Inoue vacated last.
You good? Please take as much away from the topic as you want. Like the topic is the business of boxing. I just made the title.
Oh, okay.
Real quick. I need to change that.
No, so Inoue vacated last Thursday. I believe not this past Thursday, but a Thursday before that. And so we were waiting. We're like, okay, all titles are vacant. What are we doing now? And just kind of, just dancing around waiting for the mandate to come down that says, all right, y'all need to negotiate now. And it, Mauricio said he was going to do it a couple days ago. And Richard said he had gotten the email that basically says, your clock starts now. You need to negotiate. And so that puts pressure, on Team Maloney, us, Top Rank, and Richard to get together and basically, to get the ball rolling. So I'm expecting some phone calls starting, tomorrow as far as if we're going to work this out. If we can't work it out, then it goes to purse bid if that's the next step. But yeah, it's the start of the bell, basically, that now the races are on.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I fucking love it. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Man, we marching towards the Hall of Fame. That's what we going, Rachel, down there. You heard me?
Yep.
We going to New York, baby. We going to the Hall of Fame. That's what the road ends for us. Look at me. I don't add myself. I said us.
And we all going together. And when that day comes, we are throwing the biggest damn party that they have ever seen.
I'm by my own.
Rachel, what comes with boxing Hall of Fame? Like what perks do you guys get?
Just that you say Hall of Fame and there's a trophy.
They cash the band, right? It's like a lifetime achievement award, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It's basically like the same with like Fighter of the Year. You get you get the acknowledgement. A lot of fighters you'll hear. I mean, listen to, when Devin Haney said, "Why am I not in the pound for pound list?" Right? Other boxers want to be recognized for what they're a world champion, but they're still not getting recognized for what they believe that they've done. So it's literally something that it can't be taken away from you. Acknowledgement throughout your whole career, and the people that you fought, and everything that you did for, was I supposed to smile for that picture?
Nah, I'm changing my thumbnail, and I'm changing the title while we talking.
Oh, I was just kidding.
Go ahead.
So yeah, it's just I mean, you can ask Nonito what was his goal before when he said he wanted to quit in 2012. The reason was because he achieved what he wanted to. The first milestone was him becoming world champion. After that, he said, "I want to win Fighter of the Year." We won it in 2012, and until he realized a new goal, he was pretty stagnant for a long time because he's like, "Well, I won Fight of the Year, I won Knockout of the Year, I won Fight of the Year. Like, what else is there for me to accomplish?" Until he realized that he's like, "I didn't win. I haven't gotten undisputed. I haven't gotten my 5th world title," because he was an interim in the 115. He's like, "I want those." So that's why the rejuvenation, because when you're walking around in life and just even your regular life, without a goal, you're just monotonous, just a zombie in doing the same things you do every day without looking forward and pushing towards, things that. Come on, Mark, where's your quote? Because I bought a T-shirt that has your quote. What is your quote?
Dreams require sleep, goals require effort.
There we go.
Shout out to Reggie. Got one. He bought some for the twins. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate Reggie supporting the show too.
I got one today, a T-shirt, because I was like, I wanted to get a sweatshirt, and I'm like, wait, spring's coming up. I might as well just go to a T-shirt now. So I got one.
I'm gonna see you guys soon. I'm gonna bring one for you and Nonito.
You coming out to Vegas? Where are you anyway? I don't even know.
I'm in Atlanta. So if you guys are coming to the Broner fight, or you coming to Atlanta anytime soon, let me know, and I'll meet you guys here in the city. But I'm
okay.
And I'm right by the airport too, so it's dope.
Oh, Rachel, y'all live in Vegas?
Yep, we're in Sin City Capital.
Oh, y'all out here. I was thinking the whole time. I always thought y'all was in LA and shit.
Where are you?
Lifestyle. He in Vegas.
I'm in Vegas too.
What part?
I'm over here on the Southwest. I'm like not far from where that UFC facility is.
Oh,
I'm right off.
Oh
of
yeah,
Jones,
the
like,
PI. Yeah. Oh shoot, that's crazy. We were over there how many times, because Nonito was training Zhang Wei Li.
Wow.
At the PI.
Oh, y'all know her ass bad than a motherfucking man.
Oh my god. I can't remember who I was talking to, and they're like, "Oh, Rachel uses spar Zhang." I was like, I will die. I was like, and I don't say that about many people that like I refuse to get in the ring with, but I'm never setting foot in the ring with that girl. I'm like,
Yeah,
she's
literally die.
dangerous. Yeah, no, Nonito was teaching her, cleaning up her boxing game, stand-up game, and he was holding mitts for her. He's like, dude, she can actually He's like, how much do you cut? And she's like, I can make 115. She's like, if you make it to 115 in boxing, she's dangerous as hell. Dangerous.
Let me ask you something. What do you say when fans say belts don't matter? Or do belts still matter?
Belts matter for legacy. The thing is that when we talk about it at the end of the day, like, people are not going to say how many followers you had. The Hall of Fame doesn't care how much money you made. So I mean, if that's good for you, and you want your name to, you know, be written in the sand and washed away eventually, then it's great. But what we're trying to do is establish a legacy of his career, and things that we're doing outside with, you know, our nonprofit foundation, and renewable energy, and getting, you know, things that are going to be lasting, that our name is associated to, so we know that 1,000 years from now, whatever change that we made in this lifetime is always rippling through the veins of history. So yeah, okay.
In the Hall of Fame, Antonio Tarver knocked out Roy Jones. He's not in the Hall of Fame. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
it's hard to get in, and that's what I'm thinking. Like, if everyone could do it, then everyone would be there. It's one of the hardest things to be in there, especially as a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, it's, you know, it's not the easiest thing to get that accolade. But again, like I said, we're not doing that just as, you know, just his career, but, you know, the legacy that we leave, that we leave this earth with a very positive effect all around, not just in the boxing ring, but outside of it as well.
That's my biggest thing, and maybe one day I can we when I interview with you, I don't know if it'll be separate, but I want to set up one with Nonito as well and ask him one-on-one. But I'll probably re-ask this question again, but I'm sure you can probably talk about it as well, because you see him go through the weight changes and dropping the weight. Sometimes the smaller weight guys don't get as much credit as going up in divisions, right? They just be like, oh, it's only, oh man, you went from 126 to 135, or you went from 118 to 120. You know, they sometimes they don't get credit for that. Like, can you talk to us about that?
I think the weight differentials in the smaller weight divisions is because those smaller weights, when they put on weight and they lose weight, is completely different from someone that's, let's just say, 175, or to even Fury's weight. So you look at someone like Fury, and or just put it down to like where Nonito and I. So I was fighting at 101.3. Nonito was fighting at 112. And we would go out for a run, right? We're both cutting weight. We'd both run 5 miles, the same amount of distance, same amount of time, and he would lose 5 pounds and I would lose 1.2. And so the smaller weight that you have, the less amount that you can cut, and the less amount you can also gain. And that's why when it comes to the bigger weights, like, so after 135, 140, 140, okay, so after 140, now it becomes 7 pounds difference. As you see, there's an incremental weight difference as it comes up, because the pound, like, the science behind it is there's more mass, and it's calculated towards the different weights, within the respective weights in the higher weights than the lower weights. So that's why with the IBF, I don't necessarily agree when they say, hey, you have a 10-pound rehydration clause. Okay, guess what? Nonito rehydrates 10 pounds. He'll be good in the 118, and he can't weigh more than 128 the morning of the fight. But you put that on a 175-pounder, 10 pounds is like one bottle of water for them. They're up 10 pounds already. It's different. You have to do it as a percentage. So it's not the same with lower weights. Now, why do I think that lower weights don't get the exposure? It's more so that for a long time, a lot of the lower weights they were busy bees a lot of times, but they didn't have a lot of the big power knockouts that the heavier weights were having, that kind of excitement. and they weren't getting the exposure because of that. They did have knockouts here and there, but because of the fact that when the knockouts did happen, it wasn't ever shown. It was just doubling down on the fact that they were put inside the closet and not shown on TV. So, it stems to both of that, and even the women's boxing, that now that they're getting the exposure, they're getting their due in the exposure that they were deserved as much as any of the heavier weight divisions are. It's not like they're not as exciting.
And Rach, you used to box, or you were doing the mixed martial art thing?
Mixed martial arts.
Oh, how many scraps you got?
So I started at the age of 8. I was a state champion at the age of 12, national champion at the age of 12. From that point on, I was on national team, collegiate team, military team, Philippine national team, armed forces, what is it called? World class athlete program, until the age of 23.
Let's go.
Man.
Let's go. She'll beat a bitch ass right now. I'm sorry, Rachel. You already know I get raw sometimes. It's a hip hop political sports show with a comedy twist. Rachel Donaire beat your girlfriend up right now. Dude. Let's go.
Hey, Rachel. Oh, that's the other thing I want to ask. Have you ever had to whoop somebody's ass on the streets?
Mm-hmm.
She had to fight to prove her love for Nonito. Nonito always got to make her fight to prove her love. They be jumping on the Flash. No, I'm joking now. But seriously, though, I definitely want to hear one of these stories. Let's go.
Okay. Let's see. One of the stories, I'll give you 2. One of them was just some stupid fight at Sonic's. It was freaking, of course, they're in Vegas. So I think we went to Blue Martini.
Hold on. You talking about the restaurant Sonic's or what?
Over slushies.
Yes. Yeah. Sonic's.
Hell no.
Yeah.
You
hot dogs
on skates?
No. It was there was a car in front of us. Of course, it was after Blue Martini, so it had to have been like 3 a.m. And we're trying to wait for our food. But when we pulled up, there was a girl from the car from in front of us. They told them to pull aside because they didn't get their fries. The girl was in front of in between our car and the window, banging on the window, screaming for her French fries. Anyway, so Nonito's like, hey, can you just go back to your car? And blah, blah, blah. She's like, shut the fuck up, And anyway, she really wanted her fries. And so I'm like giggling in the passenger seat, and I was videotaping. Well, not so smart me had my window rolled down, and she saw I was videotaping. So all I saw was her fist punch my camera into my face, and it dropped on the car, on the floor. And then you don't see anything. You just hear scraps after that. Like, I got out of the car, we got in a fight, and then Nonito pulled me off of her, and yeah, she didn't get her French fries.
Oh, you beat her ass? How bad was her ass?
What?
It's bad. Yeah. The other one was so funny because Nonito, he wasn't there. I think he went to California to train with his dad or something. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go out. He goes, you're not going out without John. So John was one of my security guards at the time. Somehow, some way, John loses me, right? I'm like, man, I didn't get to my car. I was like, forget this. I'm going to the car. So I'm walking to valet. My other girlfriend's there. And there's a girl in front of us in valet holding up her friend. My friend starts talking to her. She's like, dude, she needs water. Of course, girl with girlfriend that is hungover is like cussing her out, saying like, mind your own damn business, calls her a fat pig, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, y'all are crazy, whatever. And so the thing is, my car gets pulled up, but she's in the line of where my car is, right? Like the walkway. So I'm like, whatever, I'm out. And so I'm walking towards them, but my car's behind them. She apparently thinks I'm going to do something, so she sucker punches me.
Wow.
And so I kicked her, and she doubled over, As soon as she doubled over, I uppercut her lip open.
Hold up,
And then I
hold up.
grabbed.
MMA fans, like, what kind of kick was it? A front kick, side kick, roundhouse? For my MMA fans,
It was a round kick. It was a round kick. Yeah.
Face?
No, stomach. So she buckled over, and as soon as she buckled over, her head was like pretty much what it is, 75 to a 90-degree angle to the floor. And then I uppercut her from there, split open her lip, and then I grabbed her head and literally was about my vision just tunneled. It was like, okay, marble countertop, cement garbage can, like, where do I, and the ballet guy.
All this is happening.
Oh, this was at and this was at Win.
Damn. And this is a friend you did this to, or a random girl?
Random girl.
She don't know this, man.
Damn.
So look. So marble tabletop trash can. What did you decide?
As soon as before I decided option A, B, or C, the guy from the valet was running over, the one who brought my car up was running over, and he goes, "Mrs. Donaire," and I was like, and I was holding her head, and I let go of her head. I'm like, shit. And he's all, I saw everything. He's like, I radioed in the cops, so here comes the cops. And I'm like, crap, here we go. And so, we get pulled in for questioning. They pull in the tapes. They see I don't throw the first punch. And the only question the cops asked me was, how did she get the alcohol? And I was like, excuse me? And he goes, do you know her? And I was like, no. And he goes, how did she get I was like, why are you asking me this? And they're like, she's underage.
What?
And I was like, I started freaking laughing. What? I was like, no. I was like, I don't know this girl. I was like,
oh, she tried to play with the wrong one with her little grown ass.
Yeah.
Hello.
Well, I think they said she was like 19 or 20.
What?
She was in college. Yeah, she was in college. 19 and 20. She wasn't supposed to be drinking. Vegas is 21, right? And so they weren't just dealing with the assault, they were also dealing with underage drinking as far as a charge. And so they're like, do you want to press charges? And I was like, nah, let me talk to her. And so I sat across from her with the cops there. And huh?
I'm just laughing at the fact you wouldn't talk to her while you don't split her shit open.
She's
with a bloody mouth. Hey, look, she up there like this. She like, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Yeah. No, yeah. So
she got her shit split. She's sitting there like this with the yuck mouth. So, all right. So you walk over and talk to the child.
Yeah. Well, so we're in Win security, right? Because they had to pull up all the camera footage and all that stuff. So we're sitting in their, I don't know, questioning room or whatever. So it literally looks like a police station question area. So she's sitting at the table. There's 3 cops at that point, one on each side of her and one at the door. And I sat down at the table across from her, and they're like, Mrs. Donaire wanted to say something to you. And I sat down and I was like, listen, I was like, you done fuck up. I was like, I can bury you right now. And I was like, but and she's like, I'm so sorry. I'm actually studying criminal, whatever. So she was trying, I guess she's in college. She's trying to be a cop.
And I'm a troll. What my man say? Who was they? This one. I had that one drop. It said, supposed to say you. What you said? My office hours. It was supposed to be the one you don't fucked up, right? Go back to your car. Yeah, I don't even have it. Oh, it was one that drop I had was like, well, you don't fucked up, right?
Yeah.
You don't fucked up, right?
Exactly.
Here we go.
So
your office.
Oh, you found it?
No, go ahead.
100.
Oh man, I got so many drops of it. Let's put it on the record. I'm mad at myself. Heard of it. I'm mad. It got small. Oh, I'm not. Oh man, I can't. I'm mad at myself. I can't find it. I can't. I can't find it. I'm mad at myself. Oh my god,
I
perfect.
love hearing them stories. Shit.
I blocked it. I fucked it up. But golly.
Hey,
So
did
you
the
go,
girl?
hold on. So you go talk. Oh, I'm sorry, Reg. I was gonna find out what happened once you go over there and talk to the girl. Her mouth bloody.
Mm. And I was like, you done fuck up. I was like, and now it's like 3:30 in the morning. I'm pissed. I'm supposed to be already eating at this point at fuck 'em long, and so I'm like,
Yeah.
At fuck 'em long. What the?
Hold on.
the one on Spring Mountain.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a noodle house.
That should sound like a strip
Did you
club.
say a nudie house or a
Noodle house? Noodle after hours, 24 hours. What is it called? Vietnamese noodle house.
You never heard of it.
Are they new? Are they
I know.
new to the noodle house?
No, they're not. The name is just hilarious. Fuck him, Kim Long is the name of the noodle house.
How do you spell that?
PHO space Kim KIM space Long.
Fo Kim.
Hello.
Oh my. Reggie, you right there in Vegas, man. You ain't been to fucking. That's probably why Reggie's
I
like,
wouldn't
nah.
go in that shit because that thing. But it's a lot of them. What they call? Oh, but you call it fuck?
So what?
Kim Long. But if you say it fast enough, it doesn't sound right.
Yeah, that should sound like a strip club.
It's Fo Kim Long. He says probably PHO space KIMLONG.
Yeah.
Fo Kim Long. Oh my God. The hours. You know what? And it's a Vietnamese restaurant in Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a lot of them out here. It's a lot of them.
That shit dope.
Mm-hmm. It's good. Especially after a nightclub. Oh my God, it's so good.
Oh my God. So you supposed to be at Fo Kim Long anyway. So
yeah.
How did you how did this resolve? Are you on probation right now, Rachel Donaire?
No. I just told her, I was like, you done fuck up. I was like, I can press charges and have you tied up in the court system for so long. It'd be absolutely damn ridiculous. And I just said, I was like, but you already have enough issues. I was like, it's up to,
work now, cause I don't bust you in your fucking mouth. Respect.
Exactly. So I was just like, because I knew she was still, even if I didn't want to press charges, they're still going to have to deal with the underage drinking situation. Right. So it's not like she was just going to get off without like anything. So I just told him, I was like, I don't even have time for you right now. I need to go eat. So, and she's like, I'm just so sorry. It'll never, I was like, what? She was like, it'll never happen again. I was like, you damn right. It'll never fucking happen again. And I left. My car was still up at double parked at valet.
I know who I'm fucking with now. I'm so sorry, Miss Donnell. Hey, look, now seriously though, because Rachel, you're not the. I mean, you ain't out here built like Lisa Leslie or nothing like that. You're not on the Meg Thee Stallion side of the game. Like you're a very small woman. Like, how tall are you?
Yeah, 5'1".
5'1".
116 pounds this morning.
116. Now, how big was your opponent in this clash?
She was 5'6", probably a good 130 or 140.
Oh yeah, you fighting Regis Prograde.
But little people always be fighting. To be honest, anyway, you think it's bigger people, little people always fighting.
I think we get underestimated because I will tell you, the one that we got in, we almost got an altercation outside in when we went to Philly last week. In that fun little town called Williamstown in Jersey. They didn't like us because they've never seen Asians. And it was apparent since the first night we got there. And so the first restaurant, they didn't want to serve us. The second night, we were talking about Dana White with some other guy at the bar, and he told me to slap his hand. And so I slapped his hand, and he was like, yeah, I would never let you hit me. And I was like, just laughing about it. But when I came around back through the tables, these 6 Caucasians that were sitting around the table were like, they blocked my way from going back to Nonito. And they're like, you never put your hands on a white man. And then interesting. Yeah. Then
Who said that? Who said that?
Some randoms at a bar in Williamstown, New Jersey.
Wow.
Oh, you should have hit them with the spinning kick.
No, so I got back to our, I told her, I was like, we're just, first of all, I was playing around, and that guy's like, we're cool. He's gonna buy me a shot. I just slapped his hand, Jesus, but I was trying to de-escalate. I got back to my table, and Nonito was like, what the hell was that? And I was like, I was just trying to de-escalate, and he was like, there's no de-escalating with these people. And I was like, I know, but at least I was trying. And so two of them was going to go get a smoke, and they passed by our little like alley, because we're like basically at a bar and there's a wall behind us and they have to walk by us. And he was like, well, what were they saying? I was like, oh, that bitch was the one that was running her mouth. And then so she started yelling at Nonito, and she ended up scratching Nonito on the face, and then he grabbed her. And then the other guys started coming into the mix, and then he grabbed one of them too. But yeah, it was fun.
And this was last week.
Yeah, when we went to Philly.
Yeah, your rednecks need their ass kicked. Hey, but that girl with the fight, did she find out she was a professional fighter? And did she try to get anything out of finding out? Because I suspect like anytime somebody starts some shit with a pro fighter and they get their ass whooped, do they be trying to sit out there and file a lawsuit and shit?
No, she did, because the tapes, the perfect thing is that the casino's in Las Vegas. Like there's cameras everywhere. So just the fact that she punched me first, because the whole story like played in, right? Because of the fact that my car just got pulled up. You could see it in the tape. And the guy standing there with a key, I'm walking towards him and she punches me out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be different if I was even talking to her, and like trading barbs with her, but it wasn't me, it was my girlfriend. And just provoking this whole situation. But because they saw the car pull up and I'm walking towards him where he's waving down that he has my car, it was unprovoked on my end. So completely from what at that point, once she put her hands on me, it was complete self-defense.
How good was her power?
It wasn't, it was slap boxing. Dana White's wife might hit harder than her.
Don't get me on that, because
I'm sorry. I had to.
What about the girl at Sonics that hit you? How good was her power? Wait, or she hit your phone, right? Or she hit you?
She hit my phone.
Your phone of your body and your property in some states.
No, but she hit my it wasn't a punch, it was like she slapped the phone into my face. So like I tasted blood like from my tooth, right? Like hitting my lip, and the phone fell down, and then I just went blank. I was like, I was like, now I taste blood. Now we're going. But she didn't get her fries. So,
She said she didn't get her fries. She got fried, all right. Yeah, man. That's why you got to be careful, man, when you just run it up on. Like I was saying, man, like a lot of people like to call fighters bums and bums. You know what I always say, Rachel? A bum will beat your ass. And
that's true, because
you can't do
even the worst fighters. No, even the fighters that, only either have amateur experience or have been beaten in the ring. The thing is, like, you're talking about people who have actually, you have actual experience in fighting. When it comes to street fights, the thing is that it all goes in slow motion, because most of the guys that you fight are cranking it up behind their head. There's total, you can completely read and telegraph every single thing they're doing. And so it looks like it's in slow motion.
Because of the muscle memory and the years in the the years in the gym. You can see everything in slow motion. Is what you're saying? Is that why it's slow motion?
Yeah, and just someone who hasn't But even someone who hasn't fought before, right? Like when they punch, it's gonna be a wailing punch. They're going to wind up extensively, right? Like they're almost swinging a baseball bat. Like you could see it.
They like this.
Yes, exactly.
It's like mother. I want the mother.
Yeah. Wait, Mark, you have to put your elbows up. You know that one where they like swing? No. They put their hands up right in front of their face and they swing it front and back.
Oh, when they be doing like this?
Yeah. Come on.
Doing like this.
Hey, that's why I always say Vegas is the wrong place to start shit because there's so many professional fighters. Just period.
Oh, I told my wife that on the plane. I told my wife that on before we even got on the plane. I said, "Now you better be on your best behavior, because you're gonna see a whole different behavior from me." She's like, "What you mean?" I was like, "This ain't the place where you just start just randomly popping off. You in Fight City, baby. They call it Sin City. I call it Fight City, because that person you talking off, he might not be a world champion, but this motherfucker spar every day. You know what I'm saying? He's somebody, or he's training every day. He's working up. He ain't got 0 pro fights, but he's been training for 5 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Training since he was 3. Like he had his black belt at 5. You know what I'm saying? 6 years old, had his first black belt. Then he got his second black belt and said, "You know what? I don't like karate no more. Let me try something else. Let me see what this taekwondo is like. Let me get into a little jujitsu. Let me try some boxing." Man, this dude about to beat your ass right here in the casino in front of everybody, and you're gonna be asleep before security help you, bro. You better show respect. You better show some respect to everybody, especially in Vegas, because you don't know who the fuck you talking to and what the hell.
Yeah,
and they ain't got to be built like an MMA fighter. No, bro. I train though. I know what the hell I'm doing when I do what I do. You better be careful out there. But go ahead.
No, where was it? Okay, so there's always, oh my God, who the hell fought? There was someone who fought.
You talking about Michael Hunter brother in the casino?
No. Carl Frampton fought over in the Cosmo, and Dave Bautista, Drax, Guardians of the Galaxy. He was here, so we brought him to the fight. And then he's like, "Oh, I want to go to Excess. Let's go to Excess." So we get a table at Excess, best table in the house. And it's right across the DJ. So there's the dance floor in front of us. We have our table. And so I'm sitting, like our table's filled. Like I think we had Ramirez there too. We had not Michael Conlon, his brother. And then we had like 3 or 4 world champions sitting there. And Dave Bautista. Okay. So this table behind us was like I sat on the back end of our table, like the seat back, and they're like, we can't see, and I was like, okay, so I move over a little bit so they can see, and the security starts tapping me. He's like, "You need to move," and I was like, "Isn't this community space?" And they're like, "Yeah, but they need to be able to see in the back." I was like, "I'm on half of my table," and he's like, "That's half your table." I was like, "Fine," so I move over like 3 inches. And I was like, "Now it's half the table." He's like, "You really gonna be like that?" And Onito comes over, is like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "This fool won't leave me alone. It's the security from the other table." And he's "You really want to get kicked out?" And Onito's like, "Listen, dude, everyone's just trying to have a fun time. Like, this isn't the table to mess with." And he was like, "What, y'all want to get kicked out? You want to get kicked out? You want to get kicked out?" He's calling security on his walkie-talkie, right? He's like, "This motherfucker." No, Needle's like, "Try it, dude. Just try it." So he's calling security. No one's responding. And he's like, "Why isn't anyone responding?" And I'm like giggling, looking at him. I was like, "Call the manager. Tell him you're trying to kick out our table. Let's see what happens." No one responded to him because of the table that we were at. It's like, "You really going to pull out 5 world champions and freaking Guardian of the Galaxy Drax? And we're not doing anything."
Yeah, never heard of it. It's not about to happen, bro. You can leave though.
Exactly.
Thank you for your business.
So crazy. It was madness. But yeah, that's the thing with Vegas is that people come in, with money and they think that's going to do anything. And literally when it comes, especially local connection. So you got the local connection, you have the celebrities. Like they're not going to touch the celebrities. They're not going to do anything to local connection. And so that's why No Needle's like, call the manager, tell him you're trying to kick me out and see what happens. Like they're like, we come in that joint all the time. Even when we go out to the outside bar, those outside bartenders have known me since 2007. They'll always take care of me. They'll watch my drinks. They'll make sure my purse is good, everything. So whenever there's like these rich people that come in and they try to push their way, they're like, that's her chair. And I'm like, I don't care if that's her chair. And they'll be like, no. And they'll actually get security for me to get my chair back. Like, it's stuff like that that's crazy in Vegas that people will try to fight you over.
Wow. Go ahead, Reg.
Yeah, no, that's all I always tell people, man. This the wrong city to be starting that shit with random people, man. You fight who you know. Some random person, I don't give a damn they tiny and shit. You better make sure you get a profile, or like they say, Google them. What's your name?
He said fight who you know. He said you better fight them people you got on the plane with over here.
Exactly.
You better not be fighting none of these locals.
Exactly. And then if you think you can fight, you may have to want to know how to keep a motherfucker off you, because so many of these Brazilian jiu-jitsu guys, there's so many
Oh my God.
karate cats. I see the Khabib family out here all the time. I go on Walmart, they be in that motherfucker deep.
Yeah, that's the one thing. The jiu-jitsu guys, you have absolutely no idea which one. Like the guys that we hang out with, you would never think that they can actually roll, and they're all like black belts in jiu-jitsu and roll like world champion style, like everything. And you're like, there's no way that this guy can actually do anything, man. They'll twist you up so quick, it's not even funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah, this city is crazy, man.
A tough city, man. I'm gonna be honest. Like people laughed at me on that episode, Reggie, when I said I thought them kids was trying to pick my pocket. And
Shit,
once
they
I
probably was.
bro, they just kept walking up on me, bro. And there was a lot of space on either side for them to go. And I would look back and there would be one right here. You know what I'm saying? And there would be another one walking ahead. I was like, yo, I told my wife, I was like, they're circling us. They're flanking me. They're flanking me. Tell them to stop flanking me. She was like, boy, you better stop. They kids. I was like, man, kids will pick your pocket. Somebody will do something, and then you got to decide who you gonna chase which way. Like, I was like, I seen this before. I was in the Army. We did drills on this type of shit. Like, yo, I don't trust nobody. She was like, oh my God, you're not in a third world country. You're in Las Vegas on the strip. I said, I'm a walking lick.
Shit, where your wife from? Shit, America about America worse than third world countries when it comes to shit.
Come on, Reg.
Well, especially the strip, like that's easy picking. Everyone's drunk or they're on drugs, so
you get poor people that be out there. Yeah, you get
Yep.
some kids that come from poor areas, man, they looking for a mark. It's no different than how people talk about the Brazilians coming out the favelas to come to the tourist area. That shit happened in New York, Chicago, LA. It's people out here doing bad as fuck, and they're no different than third world country people.
Right. And considering how many people are walking on the strip, like, it's easier for kids to just run in between and like mess with people and then disappear into the crowds, especially late at night. It's madness late at night. People don't even know what hit them.
Yeah, man. Like, but it was broad daylight for me, and she was like, "You thinking they?" I was like, "Man, I'm moving my wallet. I don't even know why this is a conversation, lady. Boom, move my wallet up front. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what are you talking about? Took my watch off, put it in the pocket. Like, man, I'm about to punch one of these little rascals in the face, yo. And then I realized there was a lady who was trailing the pack. I think she was in on it. They were following us. It was all I'm saying is, look, all I'm trying to say is this, y'all. I'm right here. And y'all know how, like, when you walking on the strip, them Vegas sidewalks are wide, bro. It's not like walking down your neighborhood in your subdivision where it's like a 3-foot sidewalk. This is like a Vegas sidewalk. It's like I can hold my arms out, you can hold your arms out, and probably Rachel can hold her arms out, and we still won't be on the street. It's like it's enough for a pack of people to walk beside each other.
You gotta pick someone taller. My arms aren't that long.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? That's why I said me and Reggie and you. All our ones out side by side on a clear Vegas street, and we walk the curb. Now, the spot I'm walking on right here, these kids are right here. And I walk with a fast pace. Because I part of me want to just do this. Get your little ass back. What the hell you get your ass back? What the hell you doing this close to me, boy? But I know I would go to prison. But I know I would be going to prison. And I would not be doing this broadcast. But
Vegas probably used to that shit, man. Because you had
respect, but no, they used to. Kids learn how to pickpocket, bro. I know the vibes, bro. I've been in the city before, bro. I didn't come off the damn farmer's truck. This ain't my first inner city, bro. I was in the bro. I've been to other countries.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Vegas police tripping about you whooping a kid ass. They probably used to that shit.
Shout out to Vegas police then. Let's give it a try. They was like, oh yeah, we heard of that. We heard of that. Yeah, you got to beat a kid ass in Vegas. He tried to pick your pocket. Yeah, beat his ass.
Yeah, they be.
Hey, Mark, I got to tell you, my son keeps like walking in and out of my bedroom, and he keeps hearing you put on that sound horn. I don't know why he thinks that sound horn is exclusive to him, but he's a 9-year-old DJ, and he's like, "That's my sound horn, Mom." I'm like, "It literally is not licensed to you. Everybody can use the sound horn."
Oh my God, is that Jarrell?
Mark.
Yeah, Jarrell just got so he saw his godfather on Thursday, because they told him to move from a 2-channel to a 4-channel. His godfather just freaking handed him a Pioneer DJJSZ2, like some huge ass mixer that's taller than his body. So he's over there trying to mix
the style. Jarrell said, "Who is?" Jarrell got the Kevin Hart face right here on the screen. He like, who the hell? That in that show playing my sound? That is my sound. I created. I built this brick by brick. I be damn if
exactly.
Down. Look at him like, Mama, what the hell is going on? Tell Jarrell I got love and respect for him, but I'm gonna give him go gadget arms, and I'm gonna tell him he's reaching. He's reaching. Been using that sound.
Hey, Mark.
How old is Jarrell?
You heard our
right?
9.
Like Jarrell. I understand, bro. I understand.
But I understand.
Man, they've been
using.
Love.
Do you hear that the money dance that he made for us when he get dropped?
Fire! I can't believe he's 9 making that though. I think he's on PEDs when it comes to beats.
Oh God, that child.
I gotta put a case on Jarrell. I think Nito Daenerys are buying beats, license them out, and saying Jarrell made them. I'm sorry, I'm putting a case on y'all. I don't believe a 9-year-old. I just don't believe it. I'm just saying, like, ain't no joke in that. I ain't laughing. Look at my face.
He about to come here and play one of the beats that he produced.
I don't believe you. Let me hit him with a drop. Jarrell, if you're listening.
We don't believe you. You need more people.
You ain't making them beats like that. Putting a cap on you. I don't believe that shit. Reggie, you heard the joint? Jarrell ain't making them beats. He 9, bro.
Man, he about to tell his mom to get the lawyer.
He about to put a case on me, huh? He gonna sue me for defamation. I was just joking, Jarrell. I was just joking, bro. I believe you, bro. Just joking. All right. Yeah, I would love to hear it though. I would love to hear it. It's all love on this side, man. Jarrell, I don't want no smoke. He gonna pull up. He gonna want a battle, ain't he? His 9-year-old pride gonna take over. Gonna like play your beats now, homie.
Oh yeah. No, he played. Mark, I'll send it to you offline. He made something one night. Like I was like, hey, you can't play on your iPad, and he's like, okay, but can I do something else? I'm like, as long as you're learning, right? So he has a bunch of like website learning apps and stuff. Nope, he went on to some soundboard app that has all these like different beats and stuff like that. And then you have to press all the buttons and make a track. So he came out with this whole freaking track, like the build up, the pull down, everything. Like I was like, what the hell? Then so Nonito heard it and he's like, you want to make my next ring music? He's like, yeah. He started writing lyrics. I'm like, what the? I was like, I don't know where I got this child, but okay.
Who did that voice on Filipino? Flash, Filipino, flash.
That was a group. Jesus, what was their name? It was a group in the Bay of 3 girls that did that for Nonito. And then Lupe Contreras did the intro.
We gotta find
for
out
Nonito. You know how their name? I'll find out their name. Oh God, yeah, I'll find out their name. But though, even the beginning of where it says, Nonito's drop, where it's like it introduces Nonito. I called Lupe. I'm like, Lupe, Nonito wants you to say his name, and like a ring entrance. So he recorded it.
You're talking about
send it, huh?
You're talking about Lupe Fiasco?
No, Lupe Contreras, the ring announcer.
Okay, Lupe Contreras. Okay, I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, he's the ring announcer.
On me.
Kick push. No, not Lupe Fiasco. Yeah, so he asked Lupe for that, and then Nick No, the producer for the Jabberwockies, who's Jarrell's godfather, we sent that track over to Nick, and then Nick created that whole intro for Nonito. So that's why, yeah, we were able to play it because that's actually from Nick. It's not even like something we bought.
Dope, super dope. Go ahead, Reg.
Oh no, I got nothing else.
Okay, yeah. I'm good, man. Like, I really enjoyed this. I'm gonna go ahead and chop down some of these Frank Lundy clips. I'm gonna definitely bring in the part with Nonito pulled up with Hank Lundy and they connected, and Hank Lundy asked Nonito for the autograph. Shout out to that. I was like, well, shout out to Hank Lundy. I was like, I didn't even ask for the autograph yet. You know what I'm saying? I was trying. Hey, look, Rachel, I was trying to ease that. Look, I was gonna ease that in 6 months from now. You know what I'm saying? Damn. But shit, if Hank Lundy,
Well, make sure that you tag us, and then we'll share it on our community so everyone goes and watches. It was a great interaction for sure.
Do y'all got a PO box where I can send my own boxing gloves to, or something like that, so I can get those signed before my brother go into the Hall of Fame? Cause he going. God damn it, he going. Let's make some noise. I need those. I need those. How can I get that?
So
done? If Hank Lundy ain't I ain't too proud to ask.
The address that I sent that I bought the shirt from, just send it with the shirt. Same address.
Okay, I'll hit you up on IG. I hit you up on IG about that. Cool.
Okay. Yep. Right. For sure.
Okay. Before I go, I think my boy Otto. It's my boy. Go ahead, champ. Go ahead. You got a question or got a comment before I let you go?
Yeah. How everybody doing tonight?
Talk to me, champ.
Good.
Yeah, did you hear the conversation between Fanon and manager Marty?
No, sir, I didn't. Never heard of it. Do you have anything about the content?
Did you hear it, Rachel?
Like what?
I heard a little bit about it, but I had some other business I had to tend to. So
yeah, I might have missed.
I thought you might have listened to it. I know he had said something, like shout out to y'all when he was talking to him. So I was just wondering how realistic that was, as far as the conversation. The guy was saying that Crawford knew back in, he would have known back in early September, that he wasn't going to take that fight with Spence.
Okay.
Based on
I can't comment on it until I haven't heard the full interview because, like I said, I had some business calls I had to pick up at 10, so I didn't get to hear everything.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate you. What's your name? Right. Where you from?
You talking about me?
Yes, sir. What's your name? Where you from?
I'm from your name right here. Where you at?
Your name didn't show up on when you pulled up. What's your name? Your name ain't or your avatar. Your name and your avatar ain't show up. What's your name?
Oh, it did. This ASI. I'm right here where you are.
Okay. All right, well, I appreciate you, ASI. Thanks for joining us, man. Thanks for asking a question.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, Mark.
Absolutely, sir. All right, cool. Yeah, he threw me off for a minute. He had me nervous. I thought, I was like, man, I don't know. I didn't recognize the voice, and It almost sounded like he was talking like this, like he was changing his voice. You know, he had me scared. Right? You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Is that your real voice? Do you really talk like that?" I'm like, it sounded like somebody was disguising their voice. I ain't know somebody was about to pull a tallywhack out, because they'll pull a tallywhack out.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to be careful when you let it on your stream. Sometimes they'll put things on your screen, and then they'll report you to YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They don't pull a whole tallywhack out, so got to be careful sometimes.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize.
No, I just.
But thank you, ASI, for your time and energy, and good question. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I just don't like answering questions that if I haven't heard it myself, I don't like answering the question because I don't want to misspeak or misquote anyone. So that's just how I am. It's I don't want to. Yeah. So until I do, I can't comment on it until I actually hear what he's talking about.
Right. Or see the paperwork or see the documents. It's like I told you, a lot of people are trying to draw lines in the sand. Like, if you support BLK Prime, that means you support Terrence Crawford, quote unquote, ducking Errol Spence. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, you can't say they do good business. You can't say this was a good thing that happened or a bad thing. Like, you got to be against BLK Prime. Like, BLK Prime is now synonymous with anti-Spence or pro-Crawford. You get what I'm saying?
But Mark, isn't that freaking okay? So I feel like that's 100% weird. Like, for me, like like when I think someone else did an interview with me and they're like, oh, she's anti-Bud, and I was like, listen, like, it's like you almost have to do like a disclaimer. So my disclaimer is always like, listen, in the ring, I'm in Bud's corner, right? I was like, but I can still speak on things outside, but this is still like, from my knowledge in business and in boxing, this is what I've seen from the insiders of what had told me about the deal. This is what they told me, but I can't say 100% it is either way. And I can give you my opinion on how I feel about it, but that still doesn't stand very much until I see, the paperworks and talk to both sides of the parties, which I don't feel like my energy should be put into that as much as people.
It's like, that ain't my goddamn business. Like, to do what? Do an expose for your YouTube pleasure? Motherfucker, I'm sorry. I'm part of my French, but I'm in France.
Well, I just don't think. I mean, like, the problem is like the fight's gone, right? As of right now. So revisiting the past isn't really going to help. I think, if we could find a solution for how they can work together in the future, I think that's more of a beneficial conversation. And I can't, again, I can't stamp or confirm or deny anything of what the interview that he's talking about is about, because I didn't get to listen to it. So, that's I just don't know why why is it that, okay, they'll say, okay, well, she's worked with Heyman. I've also worked with Top Rank. I can say bad things about Heyman and bad things about Top Rank, and good things about Heyman and good things about Top Rank. So I don't know why you have to have a line in the sand. Everyone has a good and bad. Our conscience is good and bad. There's the positive and negative, and there's good and evil. Like, this is the world, right? Yin and yang. So I don't buy into this jump on a bandwagon and for the life of you, you'll just ride or die this side.
I never, Rachel, I never seen this time in boxing before where it was more. We've had more social constructs that was dividing race, but in boxing right now, it's like that. It's so racial. It's so tribal. Not even racial, just tribal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because you'll just say they'll just try to put the UK against Americans. Sometimes it's not just black versus Hispanic, and it's not just about the build up to the fight. It's to the point now. It's leaked to the promotional company. It's leaked to the network now. Like fans are fans of promoters now. The promoters are stars.
Yes, which is weird to me. That's always been weird to me. Those are not. They're not the people that are in the ring, like, that are are risking their lives, and they will much so, if you've seen it, with how many boxers that since the Don King days and the Bob Arum days, they're still around with all their faculties, and yet a lot of these boxers either run out of money or they have physical ailments from the things that they had sustained in the ring. And I think we become a fan of the wrong people when it comes to that. Like, are we a fan of I mean, yeah, are we a fan of the fighters or the promoters? And being a fan of the promoter is so shallow, I feel like, because literally what's interesting to me is that in this day and age, can the boxer be a promoter? Yes. Can the promoter be a fighter? No. And when we see that,
hold on, sis. Say that again now.
can a boxer be a promoter? Yes. Can a promoter be a fighter? No.
Why not?
You're not going to see Bob Arum jump in the ring.
We saw Floyd.
You're not going to see Don King.
Floyd Mayweather.
They were a boxer that turned into a promoter. That's why I said they can go that way.
Okay, that's what I meant. Right.
Yeah, they can go that way. So who actually is the prize? Is it the promoter or the boxer? Because without the boxer, the event doesn't go through.
Mm. Fighters first. Like I always say, hashtag fighters first.
Yes. I think we're starting to understand it. I think, a lot of fighters are starting to become more independent agents. I think they're starting to, try to get into the promotional side. They could align themselves and get the right people to advise them with events and how to actually run that side, because it's all about relationships, which is why I said, like, these boxers need to show more of their personality and get to know, Steven Espinoza. When HBO was there, the same thing. The ESPN head, same thing. Different people that you can work around the world with. When you fight for different promotions or see them, like, get to know them. Network. Your network that a boxer has is undeniable. People want to work with the boxers.
Yes.
You're the prize. You're the Hall of Fame is the boxer.
Why do box? I have so many questions for you, and I just want to pick your brain and just ask you so many questions, man. I'm gonna save some of this for our one-on-one, where we do a full one-on-one sit down.
Okay.
But can you tell me why don't they have like a pension for fighters, like songwriters, actors, NBA, NFL? Like many pro sports have like a buy-in option. They have like something like that. Why is boxing the Wild Wild West where they don't have that? Brian Custer probably never asked that. Shout out to Brian Custer, but he ain't gonna ask that. You're gonna shake the apple cart too much. But let's get into it.
Well, the NFL is they have their own league, right? It's one league, different player, different whatchamacallits, different owners of each team, but then it's one league that oversees the entire thing. That goes back, and we're going full circle into what we were talking about. There is not one organization that oversees the entire boxing industry. Every promotion is their own. So when it comes to 401k plans, et cetera, with a contract that lasts 7 years, in addition to the fact that we also, like, they're not boxers are not salary based. It's a different landscape that we're talking about. We're talking about independent contractors that are not actually within a company, and the company itself is not going to invest or take time out of their own company dollars to steer these boxers, independent contractors, in the right direction, because they're really just by contract. They're, use the contract and then put them to the wayside.
Yeah, but even still though, like, at some point Congress stepped in for baseball. They stepped in for boxing with certain things. That's why we got the Muhammad Ali Act. But like I said earlier, you're supposed to have transparency. You're supposed to have regulation, but it doesn't seem like a lot of oversight is being enforced. Like, even with how guys move and jump through rankings, and like, how is that even happening?
Rankings has to do. That's a whole different conversation, but
Because Nonito about to get another title shot.
uh-huh.
And I ain't look, I'm gonna shake the apple cart, but shoot, I ain't trying to take no money out of the champ pocket, and I want to see him do it. Cause we on our way to the Hall of Fame, baby. Hall of Fame, baby. It ain't nothing you can do about it with y'all hating asses. Shout out to my brother Nonito on there. Shout out to Rachel for pulling up. Let's talk about that. How does that happen though? Like, is it based off like what you've done in the past? Is it like, are you grandfathered in type thing?
No.
We seen it happen with Keith Thurman and Barrios. They fought, both of them coming off of losses. Now they're fighting for a mandatory slot for Errol Spence.
It literally almost is like a legal case. So, for example, at the WBC, one of the things that, we...
I'm sorry. It's not like you said put a case on it.
Oh, yeah. It's like, it literally is. So before we went out to we got to WBC and I did my homework, right? We're like, I think Nonito was number 4 or 5 before going into the convention, and we already had put in our petition to move up the rankings, and it was based on who was ahead of him in the rankings. Okay, so coming into the ratings meeting, I knew that there was Jason Maloney, and then 2 was it was Rung Desai, but it was the other one, the one that's in 118. And then the third one was, I can't remember who the third one was right now. I'd have to look at my notes. But and then I think one of them was Takuma Inoue, and then there's someone else. Basically, what I had on my paper was, let's see, okay, I'm going to jump Nonito. And if there's someone from Rung Desai's camp there that says you shouldn't be allowed to jump, I already know when it's based on performance and the quality of opponents. Those are the 2 huge factors when it comes to the ratings, right? And I knew that if I was to go up against Rung Desai, it was an easy cake because of the fact that he's going to say, well, I just lost to Jason Maloney. I should be the number 2. Nonito shouldn't be able to jump. He should have to fight me. My argument against that is Nonito has fought the last 2 fights before he had lost against Inoue was 2 undefeated fighters, right? He had Gabayo and he had Ubali. Ubali, who has a stellar amateur career and a former Olympian. I think he was a silver medalist. And then Inoue before that, and then the WBSS tournament, right? When we talk about that, and I present this, and Rung Desai, supposedly comes and says, no, this is not fair. I'd pull up his last 4 opponents, and the 4th opponent that he just fought last was someone who was 0, 1, and 0. His 5th opponent before that was a debut fighter. Now, the quality of opponent of that versus who Nonito's fighting is not comparable. So you look at the last 5 fights and who they have fought and what those opponents also were ranked at and what they've done as well. So you have to be able to speak very intellectually and have done your homework on who they've fought when you're doing these rankings. Because Nonito, if we want to talk about, in the last 4 fights, for damn sure Nonito didn't fight someone who just came out of nowhere and had a debut fight. If they wanted us to do that just to rack up wins, we could do that. But what are we talking about? We're talking about quality of opponents.
Right.
So that's how, if you know how to argue it, if you know and had done your research on who you are trying to jump in the rankings, then your argument stands strong, but you have to know.
To be fair, how does the other person get a seat at the table for that argument? Is it a hearing? Is it like when Keith Thurman came in and jumped the rankings? Like, does Cody Crawley, Alexis Roca, or who else? Like, how do they get a seat at the table in the argument? Because Alexis Roca is the NABO champion. I know some of the people like, oh, here we go with that boxing nerd shit. Yeah, you got to read those rankings, right, Rachel?
Yes.
So how does, Like, how does that work? Like, how do they get a seat at the table when you guys go argue that Nonito deserves a slot over XYZ opponent?
So it's an open panel, right? And one of the biggest things with the WBC is the reason why it takes so long for ratings is because they're literally have their Excel spreadsheet opened up and they will move you accordingly. If you listen to, I think ID Boxing has the entire ratings day. It was hours long. And if you wanted to switch, for example, number 11 and number 9, they'll say number 9 hasn't been active. He doesn't have a fight scheduled on BoxRec. If WBC could tell me that there actually is one that's scheduled on the table, we want to know who his opponent is. Otherwise, we have fought 2 times. We want to jump from 11 to 9. We won both of our last 2 fights, and this guy hasn't fought in the last year. What they'll do is they'll open the panel and say, is there anyone from this that's representing number 9 that has any new knowledge or that there's a fight scheduled or opposes this decision? And there's no one speaking for the boxer that time, they'll just switch it. It's literally that instant at the WBC.
That's weird though. Like, why do you think they move so quick?
Because they don't want people to just I think because of the fact that they don't want to have to chase, because what they're basing it off of is what's in front of them. And if they have also, as the number top 15 in the WBC, you don't have a fight scheduled, which they would have told the WBC, hey, we have me as number 9, we have a fight that's getting scheduled. We want this to move us up into the rankings because we're fighting number 7 or whatever. If we beat number 7, we want to be able to fight. We want to be able to switch places or go up to number 6. So the top 15 specifically will continue to have communications with the WBC or whichever sanctioning body, so they know the movements in the direction as to what they are doing with the fight. Why are they fighting this person, and what are they looking for? For I guess a quote unquote reward if they end up winning the fight. And most of it is moving up the rankings. So if they know, if number 11 is telling you that number 9 hasn't been doing anything, and they check into their stuff because they asked the ratings committee, do you have any knowledge or any communication that number 9 is fighting? And they say no, then the standing, unless there's someone that's there to say, actually, we're in negotiations, can you hold this off for another month? And we can revisit the switch of rankings after his next performance of number 9. And they'll normally grant that. But based on the facts and evidence that's in front of them, the WBC hadn't received any communication from number 9. There's nothing scheduled in the books. They haven't been notified about any schedule for the past year. And number 11 has fought twice and fought notable opponents that's within, their level of the ranking. And they're requesting, because of their activity, to move up. For them, because of what they see in front of them, they'll switch it.
It just seems like it's so layered. Like almost they can change the rules at any time. Or
from what I got, it's quality of opponents and activity.
But how do they send out the paperwork though? That's what I didn't get. Like, how do they send out the notice to the other people who are ranked in the top 10? Is it everybody who's ranked? Is it just the top 20? How do you get a seat at the table to argue for your fighter? Like, is it a formal hearing?
This was at the convention. It was live. You literally have 2 microphones on each side of the room.
But that's once a year though, right?
That is once a year. When it comes
rankings come out all the time though.
Every month, yes.
And I believe WBA, that shit might change every week or 2, right? WBO is once
WBA. WBA is the same every month at the end of the month. So when it comes to that, what they'll do is they can't do anything on the spot if it's not at the convention, and they'll actually reach out first and do their homework. and have an active communication with number 9 and say, hey, does he have a fight lined up? Is he injured? What's going on? And then they'll report back and say yes he does, or no he's on medical, and they'll say, well, can you pull him out of the rankings until he comes back? And then they'll either, depending on the quality of opponents from number 11, they'll either just shift everyone up one and put that number 9 to medical timeout, or they'll switch them. It just, I'm not really sure exactly what scenarios would appease the petition.
Okay. Like I said, man, this has been dope, Rachel. Like, I'm gonna let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, because I'm gonna be bothering you leading up to this. I'm gonna be bothering you to set up this Women's Week of Boxing. I want you to be at the forefront of that. I think you are super dope, super awesome, and I'm gonna have a matchmaker on the show. I'm gonna have Miss Keisha on. She's a matchmaker. She's out in Vegas too, so I want to connect you guys. And also I'm gonna have a couple female fighters on as well. And also I have a woman's promoter, a female promoter out. I believe she's in Alabama. She did some fights with Roy Jones Jr.'s promotion, and she did some fights for Michael Williams Jr. Shout out to Buck 50 and 300. So I try to get her on as well. So I just want to do a whole Women's Week in boxing. I definitely want you to be a part of that and actually, be the forefront of that. And I want to set the week off with you, and I kind of want to end the week with you too. If you got time that we pop in and out of different conversations, but I want you to be a part of that, because I think you are phenomenal. You're a phenomenal woman. You're a phenomenal voice in boxing, and people need to, listen to some things you got to say. I know sometimes from the outside looking in, you might look like, oh, you're pandering, Mark Nash. You're pandering. Put a case on. Put a case on. Nah. I'm showing respect where respect is due. Never forget, Rachel Broner was nominated for Trainer of the Year. Can we put some respect on her name? Did it happen? Am I lying? Did it happen, though? All right.
It did. When is this? What week is this?
I got to build it around your schedule, because I want to build a week around this, and I want you to be one of our quote-unquote keynote speakers, I guess we will call it, right? You know what I'm saying? And I want to have a panel of it, but each episode would be designed about a different aspect of the business. I'll have Keisha on, she'll lead the conversation about that, far as matchmaking, because that's what she do. We have a female promoter, and I'm gonna start the conversation off asking them how they got into business, things like that. We're gonna talk to you far as about being a fighter and a trainer, but also I want a fighter up here, though. I don't have a female fighter line.
Who do you want? I got Marlon Esparza, Jelena Merjevkovic.
That's what I said. I might need your help with setting it up, because I don't want to do a 3. I don't want to limit it. I don't want to do. I did a 5-day conspiracy week, but when it's women's boxing, or women in boxing, I'm only doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I got a cut woman for you.
Put that calendar up that whole week. I want to do. If in a perfect world, I can do 7 days of it. But I got you down. I got Keisha down. And I have the sister from Alabama. She hasn't quote unquote confirmed, but once she know you guys are involved, I know she's gonna jump on board. So. But if I can get some female fighters on, that'd be amazing, and we can really have a good Women's Week, and we can really build this thing up. But I can hit you up on IG offline, and we can chop it up on that. Everything.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? However you want it to go.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you want to plug and promote anything before I let you go? Damn, I think Puto clicked on. He had a question, I guess, for you. Nobody else but Puto clicked the link. Puto, you can click the link, and you can get your bars off, and you can ask the sister another question. But other than that, nobody else. Puto, just click the link. Actually, I got Puto number. That's my guy. I can just call him. But let me just call him real quick.
Okay.
Yeah. But thank you so much, though, sister. Like you so dope, and like I said, I thank God for you, and you being brave and courageous in your fight for fighters first. Like, that's some new merch I got coming at the end of this month. Don't be trying to steal my shit. You're gonna see me with the fighters.
Who's gonna launch it first? No, I'm just kidding.
Right. That's what happens, right? Right.
What's up, Poro?
Oh, hey, Rach. Actually, I didn't really have a question per se, Mark. I just thought you were still going, but I saw that you were killing it. That's why I hopped off.
Yeah. I'm about to wrap it up.
Good, for sure.
But go ahead. You on now, so go ahead. You get some
Oh,
bars. What
I
else?
just want to, yeah, I had to leave abruptly because Daddy Duty called, but yeah, no, it was just, it was a good conversation we were having, and then Rachel dropped off and stuff, but it's a really long conversation, the one we
She's
were
not
having.
dropped
So
off. She's still right here.
I mean, when I left earlier, that's what I meant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, go
That's
ahead.
because I
because
got
he
a
missed it
lot of
because
questions.
Richard called.
Yeah, Richard call. Yeah, Martin Nash is Martin Nash, like, I appreciate this, and we're gonna write this off on the taxes, but we got to get this bag right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's see what the hell is going on. You know what I'm saying? Had Jarrell doing the money dancing there. Hey,
nice.
Hey, get the money. Got to get to the money. It's all good. It's all good. But go ahead, Poto. You got anything you want to say?
I mean, you want to be here another 3 hours? I got lots to say.
Man, say something to the sister though. You here now? Go ahead. You got the floor.
Okay, well, I guess one key pertinent question. Hold on, I wrote a couple of pages down while I was with my daughter.
Take your time.
What?
I'm gonna
yeah, I'm not gonna ask you the whole 2 pages.
Give me your
Just
top five.
the crux of the issue. I'm just looking for the paper. I wrote it down. I'll just go by memory. The Muhammad Ali Act, Rachel. Is it strictly just promoter boxer relationship, promoter advisor, or does it include any stipulations involving the commissions or the sanctioning bodies? That was like one of my main ones.
It does. It gives a breakdown of every single one's roles. It does not have the word advisor. It's only to manager. Advisor is more of a newer term, within boxing. So that is not within the scope of the Muhammad Ali Act, and that's why advisor's not covered under the Muhammad Ali Act. But it does say a lot of the things that what commission is allowed to do, allowed to say, allowed to release to the public, etc. And the promoter, manager, and fighter relationships. Yeah, it lists a lot of stuff. One of these days, I do want to go through it like piece by piece, but I want to go through the manager contracts first, and then the promotionals, and then bout agreements, extensions, and what else do I want to go through? There's a lot of pieces I wanted to go through.
Yeah, a lot of people don't believe me, and I don't think Mark believes me sometimes. That I'm obsessed with like boxing, so like this conversation that Mark started to have, I'm sure you've been having ever since Nonito. Like you've been involved like in that capacity with Nonito. You've been researching yourself, but yeah, man, I mean, I've like done diagrams and shit like that because I'm just anal like that when it comes to like stuff I like.
No doubt.
You've done diagrams.
Yeah, kind of like a detective and like it's solving a case, like like I broke down like a boxer and like what his team entails and the promoter and like who could have ties with who and stuff like that.
Poto, have you done?
Oh, I see.
I'm sorry, Mark.
Have you done a video of this?
Nah, I first did this in like.
Poto, get with me.
I was like,
get
22.
With me.
That was a long time ago.
Poto, get with me. Let's do a pre-recorded. I'll edit it and put it out, and we'll present it on a live stream together. Because you and I was a part of that conversation where I said how a boxer can sign a Rachel, you would have loved this. We should really do this again, Poto, in real time, and Rachel, you would love it. I did a piece, and I said, this is how a fighter can sign $1 million contract to fight a fight for a title and end up $200,000 in debt. People's like, it's impossible.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
I said,
I believe it.
You can end up in debt signing $1 million contract to fight. People think you rich. It's like, man, he ain't even bought his first watch yet. He hasn't got the money yet. By the time he paid taxes and paid everybody else, he's about $250,000 in debt. $200,000. What was the final number? You probably don't remember, but you remember that day.
Off the top of my head, it was I believe 100,000 in the whole.
It was 180, 100,000,
something like that. I was gonna say 200,000 too, but
it was something crazy. Like it was something crazy, and I was like, and that's if he pays his taxes.
Yeah, right.
He might have about 90,000. Like we got to do it again because the guy we had on was a pro. Well, I think he said he was an amateur. He was a professional sparring partner. Does that make sense? If you know what I mean. But he's
Yeah, he did.
partner
Yeah.
now. And he was like, I get paid to spar. And so he was the one giving but he was the one man, that shit was dope. But we had some trolls ruin that conversation and it got buried in the sauce of a really long episode. That's why I'm about to end this one because this was a super dope episode and I don't want to get buried in the sauce. I'm gonna chop a lot of clips of this up. Rachel, don't look out for this, but I'm about to meme you. Rachel Donaire beating the shit out of a girl at Sonic. Yeah, that's gonna be the thumbnail. That shit gonna be funny as hell. But thank you so much, Puto. We got to do that. I got to get up with you, and so we can do that. Let's record that. Let's put that together, and let's chop that up, cause I want to do that.
I'm down with it, and I saved the spreadsheet by the way of when we did the breakdown.
Oh, let's do that. Let's do it. You
of course,
you got my number. Let's set it up. Because before you bring in, I was gonna call you. I said I got his number. I'm gonna just call him. But thank you. Plug your channel before I let you go, and I'm gonna let Rachel and Donito send off the audience and myself to a good Sunday. And if somebody going live later, that'd be dope. I'll check it out. If not, shit, if I'm up and I'm able, shit, I'll probably pop up on y'all again, man. You just never know. Keep the notifications lit. But go ahead, Puto. Final thoughts and close this out.
Final thoughts. Well, good show, Mark. Good interview. It was funny. I was actually trying to be a little funnier with the tie-in with Josue. I ain't like you though. I don't know how to do all that shit. But anyways, Puro Sur Central Boxeo. Salute to the champ and Rachel. And I'll see y'all later.
Nah, Puto, you do your thing, man. You do your thing your way. Don't be like these other people. Get on air and start doing your best Martin Ass impersonation. They're gonna start wearing the red bucket hats next. I'm glad I didn't wear it tonight. Just trying to do something different. Plus, I got my little hairline on today.
No, for sure. I actually wanted to give him smoke actually because I'm like I don't remember like that. And then actually while he was talking, I was watching a little bit of the clips of the fight. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, he might be a little bit right.
Yeah, you might be half right, man. Frank Lundy, man. I keep calling him Frank Lundy because he speaks so frankly and matter of factly. I should call him Fact Lundy because, man, I like Hank Lundy, man. In and out the ring, he's a good guy. He's so totally respectful. Man, he's just a good dude, man. It's hard not to root for a guy like that. Like when you talk to him, he's gonna just be so candidly responding to anything you gotta ask. Like whatever, it is what it is. Like he's not shy at all. So I respect Hank Lundy for everything he told us on the interview. So thank you, Puto, and I love you, bro. I'm gonna be hitting you up as soon as I end this shit so we can chop it up and we can put a date on that. All right.
Don't trip, Mark. Anytime, man. Hit me up. Bye, Rachel. Peace.
Bye, Poro.
All right, Miss Donaire. I'm gonna put Mrs. Donaire. Excuse me, not Miss. Mrs. Let me put you on the clock, man. When we gonna set up this Women's Week? We got to do that, Rachel. That'll be dope, right?
Let's do it sooner than later.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Yeah. No, I'll ping you my number on IG. And you can give me a call after this.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless the family. And tell Jarrell, I'm ready for that beat battle, homie. Beat for beat.
Oh boy.
You play 5, I play 5. Let's go, Jarrell. Let's set it up. That's gonna be members only, though. You got to sign up for members only to chop it up with me and the young guard. Me and Jarrell, we're gonna do a beat battle. 5 for 5. But also, I got some plugs in the music industry as well. So, I came from that. So, I can definitely plug you into somebody who has made some kids become big stars. So, I'll plug you guys in with that as well and see where we can go with that. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Can you please plug your dope-ass channel?
Yeah, so our channel is Beyond the Ring with Nonito and Rachel. We talk about everything. I think the other night we might have talked about sex and boxing, which was pretty intense, to say the least. But you know what? Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Mark Nash. I'm so glad that the universe had me stumble across your channel and we got to know each other and talk with the utmost respect for different personalities and different perspectives. I think what we always need to remember and realize is that we are all growing. I have things to learn, and I will always continue to give whatever knowledge I can give. to everyone that is willing to exchange that positive energy for all of us to keep blessing up. On that note, Mark, I will talk to you later. Again, keep doing the things you're doing. You're doing amazing. You're doing great things. And don't ever let anyone else tell you otherwise. Y'all have a good night.
Yes, ma'am. They tell me every day, and I be like, "Your mama, nigga." Your mama. Don't be hating on me because you ain't popping. Ain't that right, sister? Like they just want to bring you down. And when that don't work, they start lying and try to turn everybody against you. And that ain't gonna work. Cause God, no.
Yep. And then Jarrell just ran in and said that's what he said.
Man, that's my boy, man. Shout out Jarrell. Jarrell, I want that beat battle. 5 for 5. He play 5, I'm gonna play 5. All right, we're gonna set it up on members only. He play 5 beats, I'm gonna play 5 beats. Cause I got them beats popping, Jarrell. I'm coming for the smoke. R&B, all right. Hip hop. So thank you, sister. God bless you. All right.
Of course.
Yes, ma'am. Peace. All right, man. Another great episode of Breaking Beats where we break down business, entertainment, art, technology, sports, and anything else you and I feel like talking about. It's a hip-hop political sports show with a comedy twist. We like to let the jokes fly because life is serious enough. Always remember, man, dreams require sleep. You see it. Goals require effort. Go out there and get your goals, man. I love y'all. Hope you love yourself. If not, guess what? God loves you. And so does Mark Nash and the neighborhood here at Breaking Beats. Man, I would be remiss if I didn't give a major shout out to all the neighbors. Without the neighbors, the show wouldn't be the show at this level, man. I promise it wouldn't. I wouldn't be motivated and inspired to do it this way. You guys make this show possible, and you guys are giving boxers, believe it or not, man, it's a small community, and they are talking. They are spreading the word amongst each other like, yo, holla at my boy Martin Nash, man. He does good interviews. He's going to let you get your piece off. He's not going to do a hit piece, but he's also not going to give you a candy-coated interview. He's going to ask you some tough questions, and he's going to give you a chance to speak your piece. And the boxers talking to each other. The managers are talking to each other. Trainers, promoters, etc. And also the content creators. So shout out to the content creators who are using their microphones responsibly. Got to use your microphone responsibly. And a lot of times it ain't that hard to reach out to these brothers and sisters. Like, and that's what I'll end it like this. And this will be my final thoughts. As a content creator, you know what I'm saying? Before we do a hit piece on Hank Lundy, before we disrespect the WBC, before you start going at Rachel Nonito, if you even with this promoter that Hank Lundy had some issues about, I'm gonna reach out to him again. I tagged him in the post, but I'm gonna reach out to him and tell him, hey, you got the floor. We're gonna let you speak your piece. Same with Star Boxing. I'm gonna reach out to him again because we want to leave the doors of communication open to everyone who wants to have a conversation. With that said, always remember, man, respect is free. Disrespect can cost you everything. It can cost you your family, your freedom, your finances. Most importantly, disrespect can cost you your life. Let's never forget that, right? Love y'all, man. This shit been fire, man. Had a good time doing this today, man. How about that on the pop-up? They said I was the king of late night. Nah, man. Got some midday action going on right here. So this midday thing was kind of cool too on a Sunday. This was dope. Let's do a neighbors only roll call. I'm gonna close this out. I'm going in and kick it with my wife and my daughter before they crash out. Eat some good dinner, and if somebody going live, let me know. I'll pull up on your joint. No, pause. No, wrong button.
It never heard of it.
I might be in the chat. I'll just be in the chat. All right. Yo, I love y'all, man. This shit was dope, man. It's your man Martin Nash, another great episode of Breaking Beats. Let's get it. Let's do this neighbors only roll call. Let's close this thing out in the right way. As only we can do it over here. Let's do it. Shout out to all the members who made this show possible, man. You guys supporting the stream. It means more to me than you'll ever know. If you send a Cash App, I will be posting the Cash Apps on the community tab. and giving you guys a special message. Everybody who sent a Cash App, I'm gonna send a personalized message to you on the community wall. And if you got a channel, I'm gonna plug your channel. So the Cash App is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. So again, if you send a Cash App, I will be putting that on the community wall and giving you a personalized shout out. No matter how big, no matter how small the donation was, it's never too big, it's never too small. Pause. So that I gotta do that. I gotta be doing that. So thank you again. Shout out to my guy Porto. Stephen Bateman in Australia.
What up, gangsta?
Food Revolution. What up?
What up, gangsta?
C Jones 0224.
What up?
Sweaty Teddy.
What up?
That guy Clips 330.
What up?
Again, shout out to
What
my boy.
up, gangsta?
Again, shout out to my boy, that guy Clips. He's about to start dropping content, ladies and gentlemen. He's up and running now. He's it ain't no turning back, Clips. You did your first live, had a panel. Now you on the hot seat, homie. Keep dropping that content. I'm gonna be right there, first row, supporting you. All right.
What up?
KP from KC5.
What up?
Adam Kelly in Australia.
What up, gangsta?
KP.
What up?
T.
What up?
Matt Wade.
What up?
DJ.
What up?
Karma Serene with the Serene Saturdays. I see you, Karma. Keep doing your thing, sister. You know we rocking with you heavy.
What up, gangsta?
Kansas City Mac.
What up?
Ill Status Boxing.
What up?
Ace Retro.
What up?
Tank the Sweet Science Examiner, my brother.
What up, gangsta?
Beyond and Above Media.
What up?
Pittsburgh T. Always got some fire content on the panels. Pittsburgh T. I need you to start going live. We need you to do them lives, Pittsburgh. Let's get it.
What up?
SF City Slicker.
What up?
I Know Boxing. You keep the chat lit. I want to see some content from I Know Boxing. Yeah, I'm putting the pressure on all of y'all. I love y'all, but I want to see the content because I rock with y'all, just like y'all rocking with me.
What up?
Boxing Lounge.
What up?
It's Mex. Another one.
What up?
Mike from Boston.
What up?
Rider of the Storm.
What up?
Here to there.
What up?
Miss Queen Sunkiss, you keep doing your thing.
What up,
Taylor Bell.
What up?
Taylor Bell, I need you on this panel one day. Stop playing with me, Taylor Bell. You better call in or beam in, or I'm gonna start calling you. I'm gonna call you on IG. You better get involved, homie. Fuck with you, bro. Let's go.
What up?
Maddie Yoel,
What up?
Cliff Bailey,
What up?
Con Shonery,
What up?
Lisa Bells, get well, my sister.
What up, gangsta?
Cooking with the champ, keep up the good work.
What up?
On the mic with Terrence Bailey Sr., keep up the good work.
What up,
True.
gangsta?
True Media Today, USA Boxing, Coach Malachi Williams. You know the vibes.
What up?
HLD,
What up?
Cooking with Sir Senior.
What up?
Brandon Washington. Let's do it, Brandon. Start dropping some content, homie. You got an audience, you got a voice, people want to hear you, bro. Drop the content.
What up, gangsta?
Born Supreme.
What up?
You know it's all love.
What up?
Lady Shan done them season.
What
Keep
up,
doing your thing.
gangsta?
Keep doing your thing, sister. You popping.
What up?
Dub right side, keep doing your thing, homie.
What up?
D Bevel the champ. You know it's all love. We're gonna do this UFC
What up,
episode.
gangsta?
We're gonna get that UFC episode cracking. Start getting you on them UFC topics. Let's
What
go.
up, gangsta?
And the big fish himself, my good brother Derek Lincoln. Love you, bro.
What up, gangsta?
First member ever.
What
And,
up, gangsta?
and he's a big Errol Spence fan. But he rock with me and I'm rocking with him and I'm rocking with y'all. Let's get it. Love y'all. Hope you love yourself. If not, guess what? God loves you. So does the neighborhood here at Breaking Beats. All right. He said, what drinks ever do you? He said, what did drinks ever do to you, Martin Nash? Nah, man, I'm tired, bro. I've been up. I be grinding on this shit, bro. Even when I'm not doing it like this, sometimes I'm connecting with other creators, working on the business, working on other things with my wife, my daughter. I got a child, man. I'm tired. I'm tired, bro. But I love y'all though, and I respect you all, and I appreciate you. Hey, look, man. Sometimes we're gonna agree, sometimes we're gonna disagree, but one thing's for certain, two things for sure, homeboy. Never forget.
I built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just because you don't like the way another nigga talk.
And I mean that shit. Y'all keep thinking I'm playing. I mean that shit. Not gonna let you tear it down because you don't like the way somebody else talk. We're gonna agree, we're gonna disagree. But in the meantime, between time, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good episode. We're gonna exchange information. We're gonna show love to each other. We're gonna respect each other. And if not, Get the fuck up off my show, nigga.
This that squad sound.
Subscribe. I don't care how many subscribers he has. Support him. So he made all this possible. He made this possible.
Nah, Dr. Mark, God made it possible. God made it all possible. And so did viewers like you. I see you on the next episode. My boy T said, Mark, you're a natural. Were you a DJ or something? Bro, I'm still DJing, and I got the illest bars ever. Type in Mark Nash and type in the word Edith, Edith, and check out my last album, man. I think you'll like it. And that's for everybody. I don't even promote the music that much over here. I'll just be up and get my bars off. But type in Mark Nash, Edith on all streaming platforms and check out the album and let me know what you guys think of it, all right? It's all love. See you on the next one. Peace. And subscribe to the backup channel because one day they're going to want to come take the main channel. So subscribe to the backup channel. Subscribe to the Mark Nash music channel. Go to the description block. Get you a t-shirt, a hoodie. Yeah, get a coffee mug or something like that. Yeah, go to the description block. Get you some of the merch. Get you a YouTube Daddy shirt. Get you a breaking beat something. Yeah, what can I say? Yeah, it's all good. Love y'all, man. Let me close this shit out. I'm about to go get something to eat, kick it with my wife and my daughter. And somebody live, I'll be in the chat listening. Don't be talking crazy about me, nigga. I'm coming to get you. I'm joking. I don't give a fuck what y'all do.